Did y'all
Like
see me
same
put
thing.
Did y'all see me put Danity Kane in our intro, like on our teaser?
No, I haven't
No,
even
I
seen
just
it
saw
yet. I
Diddy's
have to
face.
watch it.
Yeah. You said what?
I just saw Diddy's face on the thumbnail.
Oh yeah, I had to
was it
go
on
get
the
his
yeah.
face off
Yeah.
Google.
Jen, do you
Ladies,
want
we
to turn
are
your
live.
video
I had
off?
to get one where he looked diabolical, where he looked demonic and dark.
Oh, you're killing it with the thumbnails, Christine.
Girl, I've
Oh,
been
they look
trying to change them up.
great.
I've been trying.
No,
Listen,
they
it's
look
gonna take
really
a while
great.
before they get really good, but I'm trying to divert away from
Did
the.
you do the Sosa After Dark thumbnail? Was
Yeah,
that you?
I've been trying. Yeah, I've been
They
trying.
look really
Okay.
good,
Thank
girl.
you.
I thought
Thank
I
you.
thought it was
Thank you.
Spider. At first, I said Spider making our thumbnails now. I
I
don't
thought Spider was doing it too. I was like, I know Spider is not back
Girl,
there
Spider does
saying.
not have time for us like that.
I was like,
But
Spider really
yeah.
want to see us grow. He want to see us win for real. I said he
No.
making our
I
He
know,
thumbnails
right?
does,
now.
Making the
but not
thumbnails,
that
editing
much.
the title, and like going back in. Hold time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This. Hold it
Hello,
down.
Nah, I've been
hello.
trying to add some attention, but we got 5 viewers already.
We
Hey,
got sis, and we have a
everybody.
comment. Hello, we got a comment by Lead Clinton 730. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Sosa After Dark.
Thank you, Manny. He said Diddy is literally demonic. Yes, he is.
Oh yes.
So y'all ready to get straight to the conversation?
Let's get into it. Like the video if you watch the documentary. We need real people who watch the documentary
Yeah,
so
we
we can
need
actually.
good
I've
content.
been hating hearing people commentate, especially a lot of podcasters who did not watch it. It's like, how are you? I hate when people give takes when they didn't actually take the time to watch it.
Yeah, did you guys watch the documentary, like live audience? Did y'all watch it? And how do y'all feel about it? We did a full episode if you guys didn't watch it. It's called I forgot what we named it, but it's about Diddy. It's about the Diddy documentary. We
Yeah.
unpacked it, we reviewed it. And yeah, so you should definitely watch that episode afterwards if you didn't watch it. But yeah, where should we start? Where should we start off?
Sarah, I'm gonna do the YouTube comments and manage it from this side. Are you good with managing StreamYard if people want to hop on, like Emmanuel and all them?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
just mute
So
too. Like if it gets crazy, just mute whoever is not talking.
okay, I'll do that. I'll try. I'm not good at that, but I'll
Yeah, you
definitely
have to do it
try.
perfect, but if it starts like giving us like
Yeah.
audio issues, yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Let me see.
Well,
Stan, can you hear me? Can you hear us? Okay. I was thinking if you wanted to turn off your video since you were outside.
Yeah, and I'll come back on when I go inside.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since walking Fifi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'll just listen for now.
Okay,
5
cool,
minutes.
cool, cool,
All right.
cool.
okay.
Okay. We got some
Surroundings
comments.
and all.
Okay, so where do y'all want to end off? Like, I think where do we end off in the episode with the Diddy documentary? I
I
think
think we
because there's
focused on
so much
the
to
first
unpack.
2 episodes. We didn't really get into like him recording his new album with the producer, the trial.
We talked
No,
about
Yeah.
his
you just
childhood.
gave
I
you
think
gave
we
the
were
history.
around the Tupac Diddy situation.
Yeah,
No,
we didn't expound on that
we
either.
barely. It was just history.
Yeah, we
His
talked
his upbringing.
his background, his upbringing, how pretty much like he grew up with no father. That contributed to how he moved around in society in the world, how he showed up, how he had like how he created his own idea of a man through his father, this like mystic figure who was
Mhm.
like the biggest pimp in New York, and how he like really created his own version of manhood, and how he and that really impacted how he showed up in the world. Just a recap of the last episode. What else?
I think we talked about him going into like post
Mhm.
Tupac Biggie, him making his marketing moves, the Ciroc
Yeah.
deals,
Yeah.
making the band, all of that. I think
Mhm.
that's really the bulk of what we talked about. And I think we were really getting into the
Christine,
psychology.
Christine,
Wait,
Christine really wanted to talk about how he was stealing people's girl. He
yes, she did
was,
mention that. She did mention
yeah,
that was a
yeah.
good line as well in the documentary.
Hmm.
I don't know where Christine went though.
I don't know what happened to Christine, but I'm sure she's coming back. But yeah,
So
so I mean, there's so many places to get into. So
yeah.
yeah,
I
so
think we're
y'all
sure
let us know.
Tupac and Biggie, we could cover that. We can cover him trying to take everybody named Mama's girl. We can talk about his. I think we even talk about Cassie. We didn't talk about that Cassie Capricorn era.
Yeah.
It was just so many eras in that documentary. I'm like, how many people are you
No,
going
you don't
to
even know where to start.
like?
Um, there
So
was
many
I
layers.
was watching this show today, and
Mhm.
they were actually talking about, they brought up the topic of stealing other people's, like, you know how
Destinies.
some people are attracted. So hold on,
Okay. Okay. No problem.
I gotta add Christine back on the stage, y'all. Sorry, we're at home, so we have
No.
technical difficulties.
Sorry,
Please
girl.
forgive
Auntie
us.
Quad just called me.
Oh my lord.
Oh, oh.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Well,
Are
sorry,
you
y'all.
good?
I had a call coming. Yeah, no, I'm good. I just couldn't. I
okay,
had to like it kicked me out for some
okay.
reason. But
I
sorry
gotta
about that.
boot. I gotta boot you off of your other page off the stage. Okay, no, you're good.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi
Yeah.
guys.
Oh shit.
you're fine. We were just talking about the different topics that we wanted to cover that we didn't mention in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I
but you
think
said something fair
we
about
didn't hit on the dating women. I wanted really to get into
Mhm.
like that aspect and a lot of other things. The Biggie
There's a term
performance.
for it. There's a term for it. Apparently, it's called mystic, something attraction. I'll have to look it up. It's where
Mhm.
Let me look it up.
some people are attracted to the same people that you're attracted to, because they think that, like, say for example, Janet, you're really smart, right? You're smart. You have everything in life. And then any man that you're attracted to, I'm attracted to too, because I think that I'm gonna. It's like destiny swapping.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that I'm going to have like the same like life result as you,
Mhm.
if I
Mhm.
try to like at least get the same
Mm-hmm.
guy as you. So there's actually a term for it that I didn't even know about till I was watching this Netflix show, and I was like, that's interesting because Christine was talking
Yeah,
about that. Yeah.
that's
So
good. Do you want to lead
I'm
with
trying to
that,
Google.
Christine, and then we can
Yes.
go from there?
Dang, I was trying to find the term, but I couldn't really find it. But yeah, that to me,
I'll see if I can
coming
find.
off of the whole Andre Harrell era, right?
Mhm.
hmm
Where we see that Misa was dating someone else, and that's when he started the whole "I'm gonna go after your girl," which I think is like a psychological thing as well. But I think I think he was truly jealous of the men whose girls he was going after, because he always went after. Of course, they were beautiful women, but they were the women of somebody who was powerful or had
Yeah.
something going on that he, I don't know, was trying to compete with, or whatever the case may be. So I think that that was a really interesting power play on some art of war type stuff, to like intentionally go get the women of the person that you view as like your opponent, or you want to take out,
Mhm.
or whatever. So I thought that that was very fascinating. He's continued that throughout his whole entire life.
Yeah.
Almost every single woman that he's ever been publicly attached to that he really took as his girl belonged to someone else first, including Cassie. Kim Porter was Albie
Mhm.
Scher's
Yeah.
woman first. So it seems to be a pattern with him.
Yeah.
That's a
That was
psychological power play. Go ahead, Janet.
no, yeah, I agree. But then you also see how it matched up with how he was with his artists. Like that I feel like there's I wouldn't say like a personality like disorder, but I know it's something
Oh
psychological
no,
to
I don't
Yeah.
where
think he's. I think it's
they
narcissism.
blended in the
hmm
way that he was just so in his like he wanted the life of the artists that was creating A&Ring for, building all the things, and like same way how you're saying in terms of him wanting to feel like, oh, I got Cassie on my arm, or I got Kim Porter on
Mm-hmm.
my arm. Like, I don't care if that's somebody else to do. Like, I want to feel like the man. Like that just innate desire in everything that he did to just feel like the man.
Mm-hmm.
Very
That's
interesting to
what
watch.
I mean.
Like,
Obviously, we're not psychologists, but Leland said definitely psych issues, and the drugs didn't help. I really do think it's
I think the
I
drug
narcissism.
agree.
made it
I think
worse.
it's a personality disorder. I think so, honestly, because that's
Yeah.
not normal, and it could be psychopathic too, because the way he was dancing at
Yeah.
Biggie's memorial
Yes.
was
100%.
insane. Like
A
that's not
sociopath, a
normal.
psychopath, one of the paths he's
One
on
Like
of
it.
that's
that's not normal. And for you to just navigate the world and you don't have any remorse, you don't have any
But the
sympathy,
way
like you
he
don't
was
even care.
dancing, the way he was dancing with glee, we really need to get into this, bro. I really wish that I had
Christine,
the video.
Christine actually thinks it's demonic. You probably it's like a
No, it
sacrificial
wasn't.
it's kind of like
dance.
a
It's
celebration
all about
in a sense.
context, y'all. Once you have the context of him dancing and celebrating, your friend just died, bro. God
I didn't
forbid, one
even
of my
performing.
closest, one of my quote unquote, because he said Biggie was his
South
best
South
friend.
Sudanese would never.
I could not
You
imagine, girl, he was doing jumping kicks on the stage and all kind of like, bro, come on, galloping across
Christine, do
the
you know
stage and
how much like South Sudanese people we would be talked about and like forever if
Yeah,
you're
that would have
supposed
been
to
his last
show
performance.
grief.
I
Yes,
understand
like
celebrating their life, but he was celebrating, but it wasn't Biggie's life. He was celebrating his come up.
Mm-mm.
He knew he was on after that, bro.
that's
And
so scary.
he was early 2000s. All them songs he had, all them soundtracks
Yeah.
he was on,
And
like.
I really think about the song because I really love that song. Like that song,
Mhm.
a lot of people over the years have used that song like to deal with grief or whatever when you lose someone you love, right?
What
But
song?
the
Every chance I
yes, the best
take.
part of the
Okay.
song was the chorus and Faith Evans. And when I think about it, I'm like, I really didn't like Diddy's part. And I'm feeling that way about a lot of songs lately that Diddy's been in. It's like,
Every
you know
day
what?
I wish for you.
He cannot
Yes,
rap.
he can't. And
Um,
someone else wrote that for him too. It's not like those are
yeah.
his words and
You know,
he just like they said in the documentary, he's not good at delivering the
so
lyrics. So when you
there
listen back, there was no there I don't know, it wasn't giving.
yeah. There was on the episode that we shot, Emmanuel had said something that I wish he was here. Like he needs to get on.
Yeah.
He's
He
gonna get
said
on
something
soon.
he said something like along the lines of black excellence is a negative. He's like black excellence needs to stop. Like the idea of black excellence is a negative thing. But he never honed into it because we were all involved in the conversation. But I remember him saying that it was like 26:31 minutes. And
Mm.
I wanted to ask
Yeah.
him.
Timestamp.
I wanted to ask him like to kind of like get into that further
Mhm.
because we didn't get to get into it in the episode. But what do you guys think about that? Like, because I think it's the idea of black excellence, which we kind of did touch on in the episode, that kept Diddy where he was at, kept him on the top because nobody wants to we don't have a lot of black excellent figures. We don't have a lot of black billionaires. Like so when we see black people on the top, like we want to keep them there. That's why
Mhm.
that's why there's this idea of like we trying to take down a black man or we're trying to take down a fellow black
Mm.
person. But when does it become like, okay, like we need to start holding people accountable in our
Mhm.
community? And
I
so when
hope
does it get
now. I
unhealthy?
hope
Yeah.
I hope
And when does
this
it
is
become
the
unhealthy? Because
reckoning. Yeah.
yeah, because I think we all, I mean, we do it even in like African culture. Like we want to keep the people that we know, like even if it's tribe within our tribes
Hmm.
or whatever, we want to keep them in power because it's like it's representation for us, even if they're doing negative things. So
I
yeah.
Yeah.
think we're in a new era though to where people are being held accountable a lot more. Like we have to think about the era that Diddy came up in too, right? Like
Hmm.
you didn't have access to people's lives and be able to get into the dirty details of who this person actually is. And now we're just in a new age to where if you're a bad person, people are going to find out, bro. People are going to
Mhm.
go deep into your tweets from God knows when or look you up or like investigate your life or like it's different. So I think now we're able to hold people accountable a lot more. There's been so many famous people like in Hollywood throughout the years who had crazy lifestyles, probably did crazy stuff just as crazy as Diddy, but because they grew up in an era to where back then we had real celebrities to where you only see them when they wanted to be seen. It wasn't like social media
Mhm.
where they update you
Yeah.
like you still like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that now we can hold him more accountable, but he was a figurehead. And I think the whole
I
black
mean,
excellence thing is not going to work if we don't mix it with accountability. And I think that's something that we
yes.
miss.
And I
Yeah.
do
I mean,
want to ask you, you had mentioned on the show, Christine, about how like white people, the amount of white people who are like Diddy that
Yeah.
we also like, I mean,
or
not to be
worse,
political, but our
Jeffrey,
president,
Jeffrey,
like
I've
there
met
are
a
people
friend.
who have done Diddy caliber level things, probably even worse, that we may not know about as well.
Right.
And I think because in the culture, like we don't have that many figureheads. So when you see a Diddy, you see a Jay-Z, you see a 50, like you see people who have amounted to so much success and power, and see what they were doing behind the scenes. It's like, oh, like, it's kind of like, dang, like we only
Mm-hmm.
got a couple, but I feel
Like,
like
right,
our
right.
counterparts, it's just like, oh, he just, okay, yeah,
Right.
you just
Yeah.
kind of like roll it off the shoulders. So I think we're just a little bit more
Do
heightened.
they though? Because I mean, they're asking for the Epstein files. White
I
people
mean,
are pushing for
now,
that. Yeah, yeah.
2020.
I mean,
I think a
I
lot
don't.
of that has turned political too, though, to
Yeah,
where, is it really about the victims getting justice, or is
Right.
it now like a political tool that each side can use against the
true.
other? So I feel like a lot of the times victims never really get justice, and that's just the ugly, cold reality of growing up and finding out that not all the time do the bad guys go down. Sometimes they
Yeah.
prevail,
Mhm.
and
I mean, that could be said also for this documentary. Like some people feel
Yes.
like 50 Cent was just trying to like one up Diddy, and it's not really about like the victims in the story. And it's like because if maybe if they weren't enemies, would he still have produced this documentary? I can't say,
Mm.
you
what do
know.
y'all think though
But
about all the people that are going after 50? Like, I don't know, today he went after
mhm.
Mano, Jim
uh,
Jones, Fab, all of them in that
even
podcast.
Consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
Dr.
Dr. Umar, yeah.
Umar said like there's so many other white people who are doing
He
this
tried to play
similar
that black
things.
excellence
Yeah, they
thing
always,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's always going to be the conversation. And he was pretty much saying like, why would another black man tear down another black man on a white network or Netflix? So it's like, you know,
I don't think he was tearing him down though. Like there were petty moments in the show where I was like, yeah,
yeah,
50 definitely cleared this, but
yeah,
I feel like it's for the allegedly it's the truth from what you know what I'm saying. Like
hmm
I
it's
think
not like
him
50
being
Cent is talking.
yeah, that's what I was saying. And to me,
Yeah.
honestly, when it first came out, I wasn't gonna watch the documentary because I thought it was him being childish. Because petty, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
50 is very petty. So I
hmm
wasn't gonna watch it until I knew it was like legit a good
hmm
documentary.
hmm
But no, I think it really highlighted a lot of things that I personally, I'll speak for myself, like I personally didn't even know about Diddy. And I grew up in that, like late 90s, early 2000s, where I saw Diddy as a prominent like person in Hollywood and
Yeah,
someone who
we
was
all
like
did.
away for himself. Like there wasn't a
Yeah.
lot of Diddy's that we saw on TV. Like Christine said, we come from the era of when celebrities were celebrities. You ain't know what they were eating for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
So all I saw was what I saw on TV. I didn't see what was going on behind the scenes. So I think that shed light on his childhood, like his upbringing, really just helping us get a true identity of who Diddy was, and then tackling on all of his transgressions. And
hmm
like I said, Diddy was filming a lot of the footage that we did see was footage that Diddy was filming on his own to try to like change
Right.
the narrative as well. So I
Yeah.
mean, you can shoot the messenger if
Narcissism.
you want to, if you feel some type of way about 50, but 50 is in this TV business. Like he saw an
Yeah.
opportunity and he was like, yeah, like,
Right.
Yeah.
and he took his
I
dough.
don't,
So I think
I do think he's petty, but
he's
I think he's petty personally. But I think when it comes to business, he's business minded. He's
doing business.
professional. I mean, the documentary was professional. It
It was.
was, it was professional. He wasn't words in anybody's mouth. Those were people that were speaking for themselves that worked
Yeah.
closely with Diddy. So I don't really have no issue with the documentary itself. I mean, it is kind of petty for somebody that don't like you to do a documentary on you. Like that's
But is
crazy.
it really though?
Like I
Because
would
we're
never want to be
forgetting
50
that
Cent's enemy.
we didn't
Right,
50 Cent didn't make
literally.
a documentary by
Mm.
himself though. Like I watched an interview this week with Alexandria
Yeah.
Stapleton, I think, who is like also an executive producer. And she's like a documentarian. Like she makes documentaries. She has a
Mm.
documentary for a couple people. Brittany Griner, she has one coming out for Brittany Griner. And
Hmm.
then there's one other prominent
Oh
figure that
yeah.
she has a documentary on that's coming. But hearing her interview literally gives you the integrity that this really was a real project. Yes,
Mhm.
50 Cent is like the name behind it that helps to publicize it to make it have a better reach than just some random documentarian just
Yeah.
making a documentary and
Yeah.
putting it on
But there's a
Netflix.
lot of
No,
Diddy documentaries. Like
there's
you
a
just
lot, and
Google
I've been
Diddy
watching
doc,
them
it's a lot.
over the past week. Yes, there's a
Yeah.
lot. There's all of the artists that Diddy fucked over have been on their media runs the last year since Cassie's
Oh,
lawsuit
yeah.
came out,
Yeah.
doing their podcast
Yeah.
interviews, and they've been telling everything. And I promise you, everybody can't be lying. But one thing I'll
Yeah.
say
No.
is
Yeah.
that the documentary, a lot of people said there wasn't a lot of new information. Like if you've really been following like hip hop and like the story, there was a lot of like new footage, but there wasn't a lot of new
New
information. It was just
information.
they
It's new for
the way that
us
they
because,
pieced together the way that they pieced together all of the information and told a story. That's why there was
yeah.
moments where it was like, oh, this is petty, because it's like message, like that movie when it's
Right,
like message, like it was so
literally.
many moments when it's like message, like they'll put together like he dated
Mhm.
this woman and this woman and this woman, and then it's like they
Mhm.
leave you to infer at the end that like, oh, this nigga was constantly going after other people. Like they didn't say
Yeah.
it outright, but they told the story in a way to where you kind of get the picture, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
really like that aspect of it, but I also do understand 50%. But 50 Cent really helped push it out, and he told Alexandria, he was
Yeah, he
like,
was like the
"This is
marketing
gonna go number one."
exec
Like,
behind it.
and she was like, she didn't really believe it, but he was like, "Nah, this is gonna go number one." And they really did a really good job of telling the
Yeah.
story the best. And like, they couldn't get everything in there. Diddy's so diabolical. There's no way that it would take
30
like seasons
years,
and seasons, for
30
us to
years of
really.
transgressions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it did what it needed to do and what it was meant to do, which is to really show the character of like, this guy is not a good person.
Yeah. No,
Like,
I mean, 50 Cent did a good job. I love a person that could be, whatever he wants to be in his personal life, but when it
mhm,
comes to business, business is business. So yeah, I think he was neutral. It was a
Mhm.
neutral. It was fair. I don't think
right.
it
And
was.
it's
I don't.
Netflix, right? So
Yeah.
Netflix is
Yeah.
not gonna let you bring some BS on their platform that you did not fact
Yeah.
Yeah.
check and open them up to lawsuits and litigation too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's
But
that.
speaking of Cassie, Cassie's kind of the one who broke the camel's back. Like
Hmm.
after
Mhm.
Cassie spoke out, everybody felt comfortable speaking about their own experience with Diddy, which is really unfortunate because this should have been something that should have been resolved years ago. But
Right. And it's
Yeah.
yeah,
kind of crazy how I don't really feel like none of the victims have gotten justice yet. Yes,
No.
you can say Cassie got her justice because he settled the next day and gave her, I don't know, it was undisclosed, but they were
I think
suing
it
for
was,
like 30
yeah,
million.
yeah,
But I still don't think that he's really been held accountable for what he's truly guilty for. So I
yeah.
mean, after this, they said that he's done after this documentary, though. Like, no one wants to be associated with him or his kids. And I hate to say it like that, but they're kind of like blackballed because he kind of has
Not
that
the
red
kids
X on him.
blackball.
The
I mean,
kids
yeah,
Yeah.
too, because the kids are all intertwined in his empire,
mm-mm.
right? So
And some of them are in the damn documentary. I was like, oh my goodness, that's
aiding and
horrible.
abetting,
No, that
girl.
was worse. The
Mm-hmm.
sons really
Yeah,
like
like,
listening and like I remember there was a point in time in the show where basically they were on social media trying to find their angle, and you mentioned it a little, I think, on the show, but they
yeah.
were trying to find an
They're
interview that basically made Cassie. It was like around the term of like her enjoying the freak offs or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like we need to
oh,
leave this out.
changing the narrative.
Yeah, like trying to
Yeah.
change the narrative. But I did see recently, the Breakfast Club, Lauren LaRosa had like mentioned it, that the sex worker that was mentioned in the documentary, he's suing Cassie
Mm.
because he
Mm.
said Cassie gave her an STD, gave him an STD, and then
Which one is that?
I believe
He was in the
the
documentary.
guy
He
that
was
was
the
Oh, he was
working
in the
for him
documentary.
for
Okay.
years, yeah,
Because
and that
apparently there was
she
multiple.
got
Because I watched
pregnant
an
by him.
interview with the white one this week.
Oh, it's
yeah.
another one.
So there was a lot of them.
No, but it's a black guy. He was wearing glasses, I think.
She
But
Okay.
mentioned
yeah,
that he was the one that was in the documentary, but I
yeah.
Okay.
could be I could double check too to make
He
sure.
was
So
That's
he
I'm
was
actually
he was
crazy.
blaming it on
he
somebody.
was in the documentary. Yeah.
Yeah, but somebody, one of the sex workers, is suing Cassie now because they said, of course, like she gave her an STD and then also aborted a pregnancy without his knowledge, and a slew of other things. But it's very interesting because when you talk about the victims, it's like now y'all are going after Cassie because she got this lawsuit. Like she was the one who
He got
like
money.
she got money, she led with this, she won. Now everybody is
He's a target now.
Yeah, now everybody is starting to come out with, okay, well, hold on. Well, technically, like you were a part of it. Maybe they know that they can't go at Diddy and win because I think that also was mentioned a lot in the documentary, especially even the exec, how he had a RICO case against Diddy, lost, how other people had
Hmm.
these cases against Diddy, lost. So it's like, if I can't get to Diddy, let me try to find a way to get to the next person in line that was a part of his scheme at a, at a
That's
Right.
unfortunate. Do y'all
larger
want to
scale.
read some of the comments?
Yeah.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, okay. Let me try. Okay, 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 okay.
There's a lot. I
There-
think there's a lot of
there's a
conversation.
lot. Okay, I'm sorry, but y'all can talk while I'm looking at the comment. So yeah, lead Clinton said definitely psych issues. Jeremy said Diddy needs to take that type of energy to white people. He did victimize his own people. Leland said glorified hype man. Black power is the goal. We need to hold white people accountable first. Y'all are too eager to tear down a black man, attack a black man. Um, How do y'all feel about that? White people
Oh,
will
he said,
attack.
Jeremy said why he gotta be jealous. Diddy a boss himself. You can be malicious without being jealous.
At
No,
that time, he wasn't a boss. Diddy didn't become a boss to like
no. I mean,
2000.
you could be a boss and be jealous. Some people like. I feel like Diddy, like even though he made money, he exploited people. So he took from people that he wanted from. So I
Hmm.
think like you could still be a leader and be a boss and still want something from other people. Like I think he was jealous of Tupac. Tupac had that
Oh, that
aura
was
that natural aura that he just
Right.
couldn't like
Mhm. He
get
had that je ne
have.
sais quoi.
Yeah, he
That's
just had
just
it. And he didn't have to try. Like Tupac didn't have to try. He
Mhm.
didn't have to. So yeah, you could definitely. Netflix is ran by normal people. They'll do
I do
anything.
think he's jealous because it's like I feel like Diddy befriended niggas that he wanted to be like just to get close
Mhm.
enough to be able to like take their position in a way,
Mm,
and I just don't think he was like now looking back it's like okay yeah he had a lot of money but was he really a boss? Did he really put his people in position or did he just
That's a
yeah, you're
boss.
not really a
yeah
boss. You're not really a
Yeah,
boss.
that's a boss. Everyone that ate from Diddy's hand should be good. I was
Yeah.
seeing a clip, I guess Danny Kane is back on tour. I was
Hmm.
like, there's no reason why they shouldn't have a sold out tour right now, just for the fact of
for
them
sure.
coming back, how great they were at the time that they came out. You look at day 26, there were great people around him. I think the people that became great were the ones that separated themselves from
I
him.
agree.
Mary J.
Yeah.
Blige's, the 112 show.
Mm-hmm.
Like they found their way.
Speaking of Mary, I'm
Yeah,
really perplexed to Mary has been church mouse quiet throughout this
real quiet.
whole
Weren't they best friends or something? His sister or
sis. All
like,
the people that have been close to Diddy have been silenced,
Okay.
starting with
That's a
Jay-Z.
that's something that I want to that's what I'm kind of interested in. Like the systems that made Diddy stay in power. Like what kept him at the top, the
but I think
systems that kept
everybody's
him at the
doing
top.
it.
I
I think
think
it's people's
he's like
silence.
being
Yeah.
crucified as this demonic people, and all the other people that was participating are real quiet and nervous because they're like, oh my
Because
god,
they was
like
at them
they're
parties.
getting him. Are we next? Because
Mhm.
it's just so crazy how everyone's been awfully quiet. Like no one has come out to support him, but no one has also come out against him, and that's saying a
Mhm.
lot. It's
Yeah.
just,
Celebrities love to chirp, chirp, chirp when it's time for
and
them
this
to
is
like get some good
everywhere.
PR or like seeing
It's
that,
been everywhere for the last
yeah.
year since the lawsuit dropped and the video
We
dropped
doing
of
the
him
chirping.
beating Cassie. Exactly. And then
Naz-
now it's
Nazura
trending on
said
Netflix.
Nazura said Mary J. Blige hasn't said a thing and she's a day
That's
one.
what I'm saying. I
Okay.
know Mary got stories for days.
And
And is she a
the
Mary
victim or
reminds
is
me
she
of
silence
his
complicit?
mom. She reminds
no
me of his
silence
mom. Like she
silence is being
was,
complicit.
yeah.
I think there was a lot of victims that ended up being accomplices, bro. That initial victims who ended up being
Mhm.
accomplices.
Allegedly,
And
allegedly, y'all.
allegedly,
Allegedly. So that
I feel like Mary might fall under that bracket because you've been around from the beginning. There's so many people that's been around. Misa,
Do you do you think that he victimized everybody he came in contact with though? Because I remember when he was saying, like, you remember in the documentary, he was so shocked that Don from Danity Kane was filing a lawsuit against him,
mm-hmm.
and he genuinely seemed shocked. He was like, "I never did anything to that girl." He never said anything about anybody else like that. Like, he never said I didn't do it, and he was just deflecting. So I'm like, did she hop into the
I
bandwagon,
was
or
waiting
you?
for one person to get on there and say something nice about Diddy. I was. The closest person that they got was Kalina. from when he
Oh
came.
yeah. Oh
That was the closest one that's like, "Oh, I love Diddy, you know, he's my brother.
yeah.
He's no one else had anything nice to say about this man. And I think if you really are going to bat to be like, hey, that I know what people are saying about him. I know that this is crazy, but I don't feel that
Oh,
way.
not
And
the
we know
documentary,
LeBron,
but
when
Ray
Cassie
J's
filed
been
the
standing up
lawsuit,
for him.
hmm?
I said maybe not in the documentary, but I could say like people I seen like Ray J, and he came out with a crazy story today. He said Diddy, like something about Diddy took
Didn't
him.
Ray J just pull a gun out
Wait,
on
Diddy
Christmas
did what?
Love? Like,
Diddy
I
took
don't
him?
listen to anything Ray J says. Like,
Wait, Ray J said Diddy
He
did
said
what to
Diddy
him?
has had him. I'll just put it like that because we're
But
on
he's
live.
but he's still saying good things about him?
That was trending today. So no, he supports Diddy though. Yeah,
Even though
Ray.
Diddy had him?
All the people that I've seen, like Stevie J, Ray J, all these people that were around him, I
Um,
feel like
they don't
people,
have
I
no merit.
think
I need
I'm
somebody with merit.
sorry.
I need somebody with merit
I'm,
that's not clout chasing. Like,
yeah,
who
literally,
built
yeah. Ray J just
the
sounds like
brand
he'll
on
say
clout
anything
chasing,
for
bro.
attention. But like honestly, like I think we need healing in our like community. Before we get power, we need healing. We need trauma fixing, and that goes for like even South Sudanese culture too. Like we even talk about this with our like politicians and our leaders. They've been through so much. How can they be prepared to be like presidents and politicians and stuff like
Mhm.
after going through civil war, seeing all the things that they saw, like people's
you want
heads
to
being
talk about black
like
excellence and
all
all that, but the people that exploit us the most are our own people. So
oh
when you want to talk
people, and
about
that's what
black
I'm.
excellence,
But that's
where's
all.
the black
But
excellence?
if all that you've known is exploitation, like what like
The moment
wh-
one of us gets in power and gets to that position, you know what they do? Immediately turn their back and start doing worse
yeah
than what the white man has done. So
I have to add to that clip where Diddy was
yeah
with Jim Jones in Harlem, and
mm,
basically like he was out with the people.
yeah the hand sanitizer.
And I'm like, we over here trying to be like, and I'm just saying that's just a clip. I'm not trying to,
No, that was
categorize that
that.
as his
No,
whole
but
personality.
that clip really showed his character. It really
But
did.
it's you look at from the other side, oh, why are you like, villainizing him, gaslighting him? Why are you trying to make him tear him down? Da, 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 da. But there were many people, they were like, Diddy didn't even follow his people for real. Like once he got to a certain
a lot
position,
of people said that.
he
I don't
moved
even
so
know what.
differently.
I don't even know why he recorded that.
That was
Like
crazy.
that was crazy for him to
And
even
nobody told him
record
to do
that.
that.
That made
Nobody
him
told him to
look
do that.
so crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like you were literally jolly with your people in Harlem, and then
Yeah.
as soon as you get in the car, as soon as that door shuts, I need some hand sanitizer.
That's
I
God,
need to
because
sit in
what the devil
peroxide. Like
intended
what?
to be for evil, God's gonna use it for good. That same footage was used against him, and it's crazy. That brought his
No,
downfall because I really feel like.
the
Go
fact that
ahead.
he even thought that that footage was like acceptable. Like why would you
Yeah,
record yourself?
I think he was just talking normally. Like, I don't think that
Yeah.
that was like oh, I'm on camera, I'm being filmed. It's just
And
like,
that's like the narcissistic part, like where he thinks that what he's doing is okay. Like he actually
Well,
thought like,
in his mind, he's bigger than the program, so he's gonna spin it in
mhm.
a way to where it's gonna help him. So he's not. When you've been
mm,
getting away with murder, literally, allegedly, for
Yeah.
so long,
allegedly, girl. Hmm
allegedly for so long, it's just like even this little things like the clip to where he's putting like his assistant's trying to put his jewelry on him. He can't even stop to let them put the chain on him. He's like, let's walk in groove,
Yeah.
bro. It's like he
It's like,
really
where are
feel
you
like
going?
the
First of all, you have
world
nowhere to
revolves
go.
around him.
Oh
Like
my
literally.
gosh.
Like
Lead Clinton said fake and phony. Exactly. Fake and phony. Jeremy, don't be coming at us. What'd you say? He said Jeremy said y'all females know good and well y'all be icked by random people such a no.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
would never.
Diddy. I'm not a celebrity.
No,
That
don't put
is
that.
my
Don't put that
job
on
is
me,
based off
Ricky Bobby.
public
no. He
Don't
know
perception.
put
what he
that
was
evil on
doing.
me. That was nasty.
He
That was
went to New
bad.
York where people you're literally walking on the street with people. It's not like Texas or another place. And he went out there knowing people are gonna come up to him. He's very
Yeah, that was
recognizable.
his whole MO for why he
Yeah,
went
So
to a random
yeah,
Mexican restaurant. Like there was no intention behind those
yeah,
clips of him just going to Harlem.
yeah.
Like
And then
he was held
to
up in the hotel room for however long, and thought that that probably would be good to be out with the people. You randomly
Exactly.
meet up with Jim Jones and like it just gave very stage. But
Yeah.
again, I'm
But
not
I mean,
trying to
you
clock
know
nothing.
what?
But
At the end of the day, like it's like, but how are we surprised? He's literally part of the 1%. I keep forgetting that. He's a billionaire. He is literally part of the
That's what I
1%. He's
was
the
saying.
yeah,
This
he
is
and
how the
that's
world works. This is the
mhm,
all the big people that are in power. Like they got us. They tell us, "Oh, play by the rules. Do this.
mhm.
Do that. Be a good person." And then they go do diabolical stuff like this. And this
Yeah.
is how they get and maintain power. And then
Yeah.
you wonder why,
I mean, think
like
about it.
nothing ever
Isn't
changes.
that how you would think a billionaire would act? Like
Do you think
the
Diddy just
stereotypical idea of a billionaire? Wouldn't you think
Diddy
like they'll
smart?
go out and the people and then later on be like hand sanitizer.
Yeah,
Like
but
that's
Diddy's smart,
exactly.
but he's not
Mhm.
like we're giving him a lot of credit, but I really feel like Diddy was groomed not just by Andre Harrell. He signed to Clyde Davis. I feel like he was around big people. I've watched interviews where allegedly they've caught him doing stuff with white men, like powerful white men, the head of like multiple I forgot what it is, record
Oh,
labels
he
or
was
whatever.
really groomed.
So
Oh my
I feel
god.
like he was in rooms and working with powerful people. Maybe that's how he got his MO, like his recipe for how he controls people and abuses people and takes advantage of them. I feel like he really did get it from somewhere else. It can't
yeah,
be just him that he's just the only demon on this earth. There's got to be
oh,
other demons that he got his training from because
That's actually
we're giving
true.
him credit, but it can't just be him because he came up in this industry and he's
mhm.
learned a lot. And I feel like he really would. How do you think he left from under Andre Harrell? Andre Harrell fired him. How did he go? Clive Davis is the one that put Andre Harrell on. How did he go? Get fired from working for Andre and then go backdoor go get
Bad Boy Records, basically from Clive.
Uh
Hold
oh,
on.
his
Christine's
own that
frozen.
happen? How?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they just giving away record labels now?
Yeah,
yeah.
he was mentioned in
No,
the
they didn't mention
documentaries.
Clyde.
They did. They didn't
But
mention him
They
like
didn't
in
mention
I
him
depth.
like
think
they
the
should
music
have.
business.
They really should have went more in depth.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I think also because the music business is foundationally like predatory, that
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, I wouldn't say easy for him to get away with it, but I think the systems are already set in place
Yeah, this is what
for
they
the
do.
gatekeepers to have more power and control over people. But I think that that's where morals and character come into play because that stuff is priceless. So if you get into these rooms and you realize, like, dang, I've always wanted to have my record label, like, dang, I always wanted to have artists, da, 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 but I see them doing this, and
They
you
didn't mention that
decide
one.
to join that bandwagon of mentors and their
Yeah.
habits and their morals
But
and
this is
character,
the only
you're
way
just
to get
joining.
on, Janet. Especially during that
Mhm.
time, I really feel with the gatekeepers where it was harder to get put on. I feel like this was the only way to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
famous.
yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah, for
that's
sure, for
it's
sure,
like how many were there any real stars or were these people cherry picked depending on how much they would go for whatever it is
for
that
sure, for
you
Yeah.
sure.
know?
No,
Yeah.
but that makes sense. You saying that he was probably abused by somebody in the music industry to
Hmm.
get to where he was. That actually does make sense because that's probably why he does it to
That's
other people.
Hollywood, not even just the music
Yeah.
industry. They've been abusing stars and especially child stars since the pictures were in black and white,
Yeah.
since
And
back
he's
in the
probably like,
day.
if I had to do it, then so do you. The person them,
That's
you
just
gotta do
how it
it too.
works.
It's
This
like
what you
an
gotta do to get on.
yeah, it's like an indoctrination. Like it's just like passed on to the next person. That's crazy.
But for what though? Like I think that's
What
my
they
thing.
read
That
was
I
not in the
think about you
documentary.
and your like you think about all the stuff that's coming out, right? Like you see the R. Kellys, the Bill Cosbys, the Diddy's of the world, like the list
Mm.
continue to probably go on. But not even that, we see it on the other side as well. But you see all of this coming to the surface now. So
Hmm.
all of those years of success, now you're in your late 50s, 70s, 60s, 70s, and now what? Spending your life in jail?
This
Spending
is the
years
Yeah.
worst thing that can
like,
happen
is
to
that,
him
you
because
know
his
what I'm
ego
saying?
is everything.
And people defended Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. Isn't that
Of
crazy?
course,
To
No,
this
of
like that
course.
is so crazy to me. Like I don't under
Even
like
Bill Cosby with the roofing women or drugging women or whatever, like this has been going on. I think
Bill
that
mhm.
Cosby,
somebody in the interview was
90s, 80s,
saying,
They
90s,
kept saying that it was like white women that were blaming him and white people trying to
they
take
said
him down
it was normal back then. This is
and
what they used to do.
a black woman accused him, a black model at the time
Hmm.
accused him, and then now they're coming up with a different excuse. It's like some of these kings that we have are not really kings, and that's okay. We can find new, productive, efficient
Yeah, we
kings
gotta
that
up
don't
our
exploit people.
standards.
Yeah, we
Jeremy
But the
have
thing
said,
is,
to.
we didn't know. Like all of this stuff was hidden from the public, right? But now, like I said, that we're in an information age, we
Yeah.
have to up our standards. Like, who are
yeah,
we supporting? Who are we making famous? Who are we making these big figureheads in the hip hop or black community in general? Are these our
Oh my
kings, like you
gosh,
said? We gotta
y'all.
have better people
I
than
don't. I
this.
I don't think we have any good people at the forefront. Who do
Jeremy
y'all
said,
think are
look,
good?
Jeremy said
Uh,
morality is subjective. If
no,
the
it's not.
if the there you go,
Hi, Emmanuel.
there you go.
What's
How
up?
I
you
heard they was
showing up
looking
on
for me.
African time on a live stream?
Yeah, that's
African
crazy.
time on a live stream, Emmanuel, is crazy work.
First
Well,
off,
you
when I
know,
showed up
Emmanuel's
early,
Hollywood now.
You
He's a
can't even be
Hollywood
on.
boss.
You can't even be on time on a live stream.
y'all weren't here, so don't even do that.
No, you didn't show up early because me and Christine were early on this live stream, but it's okay. Do you have anything to say? We have our people here. Shout out to the audience that's still here. Do you have anything to say? Because we live, baby.
That you didn't get to touch on in the episode.
Yeah, before we're talking about the Diddy documentary, but you know
Oh,
what? Hold on. I had a question for you. So
hmm
on the actual episode, the Diddy documentary episode, you said something along the lines of Black excellence is a problem. Black excellence.
well,
Can
I
you
said,
expound on that? Because we didn't give you a chance to expound on that.
yeah, I said like a lot of the times people who are quote unquote black excellence, they're able to use their power to get away with a lot of the underhandedness of like what their white predecessors do. And
Hmm.
so a lot of the times the community will protect them under the guise of, oh, this person is a leader in the community. So whatever they do, they shouldn't admit that he's doing anything wrong, doing anything. So it happens a lot of the times. I think it happened even with some of the Black Panther movement or some of the men that were like assaulting the women. A lot of the times they can convey that like, oh, I'm trying to do good for the community because oh, I'm black excellence. I'm an image of a good black man. Don't tear me down under the guises of like, oh, we need these figures for other kids to look up to and stuff like that. So they can hide all of their actions and people like
Mm.
when old girl was like, "Oh, he's Diddy, he's a part of the culture, he's for the culture." I didn't want to dismantle that or give people a wrong image of him from that. And it's like, no, take that out. Like we
But
Hmm.
need
that's not
more
her
good people.
job. That's really not her job.
And I think that that's a lot of the times that happens to a lot of black women, especially when they're victimized by black men
Mm.
or younger people that are victimized by adults. Like you have to speak up. It doesn't matter what the person does because they can be replaced, and that's okay. Replace them with
And
somebody
and
that's going
but
to be
And they
good.
that's
should be.
and I think that like Black men probably are the ones that need to hold other people accountable because when Black women do it, or it's like we're looked at, like you said, as trying to tear down the
Mhm.
empire, and then now we're victimized, and now we're looked at as like the issue. So I think maybe that should be the Black men's job because y'all are the leaders in our community. Y'all are the
Y'all, real quick, it's echoing. I don't know if y'all hear it. So when you're not talking, like if you're not talking, just mute it.
okay. Is it still echoing, y'all? Okay. Well, no, I'm done talking. So, so yeah,
I,
that's
I, I
all I wanted
think
to say.
I think personally, yes, you're absolutely right. Like it should be black men to like get on it. But I think culturally we are opposed to like accepting the fact that there's duality in like people's character. Somebody could do so much good, but also have that terrible evil aspect of themselves. And I think Diddy kind of washed away his stuff by being funny and all that excess stuff. And then at the end of the day, like people like R. Kelly, people knew what they were doing. It's just people would rather sometimes just focus on the positivity, what they did for them, because they're not being victimized by that person. And I think that
Yeah,
that's an understanding like just human nature in general. And we have to like get to a point where we got to be like, okay, one strike, let the person be out. Like,
yeah.
let's
And I
continue and
feel
move
like,
forward.
for us, like in Black people in general, we care so much about our image. We care more about the outside image more than we really care about the core. Like, we rather the fruit look nice on the outside than what it doesn't matter what it looks like on the inside. It could be rotten as long as we look good on the outside because I think we're so used to our and it's true, like the black person, like our image has been torn down so much by, you know, the colonialism, racism, like all these things have been an attack on black people, where we're like, we just want some black excellence, we just want some positive, or like something that shows us like not struggling, like like an example of us not struggling, a positive example, but it's positive in at its face value, but it's not positive behind the scenes. So I think that's a problem too, where we have to like find a balance.
That's such a good point, that black people love looking good more than anything else, because I swear
Hmm.
people will be broke and go get their hair done, make sure our nails are done, make sure our outfit hit, everything on us is on point, but doing real
Yes.
bad. I feel like that's
Even
just a part of our culture. Like no matter
yes,
what.
even when it comes down to like trickle it down to South Sudanese culture, our culture
Hmm.
is like, don't embarrass
Right.
us. Like we have to put up like a front for
And
everything.
that's why people like Diddy, like the flashier you are,
Hmm.
the more you look successful, the more you look like the man. We're like, yes, this is our guy. Like he,
Hmm.
especially African culture, he's rich. He looks like he got
Hmm.
everything together. He's the man. Let's follow him, regardless of whatever else he's doing. It's just how things look is what we support. It's
Hmm.
like you look good enough. You
Yes.
look like you have the
Yes.
packaging.
Yeah, and that's why people like Dr. Umar will say like, but what about Jeffrey Epstein? And what about like there it's always what aboutism? Like what about the white people? But I think white
And that's
people
what's
have the
killing the community, honestly.
yes. But I think white people have the privilege to have like duality, and like they can have different things going on and it's not going to look like a stain on white people. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing. Like when black people do something negative, it's like, oh, like see, that's how black people are. But nobody highlights the positive that we're doing. White people have positive things going on, they have negative things going on, but nobody separates them and says like, oh, that's a white people thing, or that, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's the only yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with
Yeah.
that. And I feel like it's because white people created the systems. Like
Hmm.
they when we see our fellow 5 to 10 black people succeed and get to these rooms and billionaires and all of so many white billionaires they are, but let us have one, let us have 2 or 3. We're like going crazy. But
Yeah.
I feel like
But that's why they think that every time there's a black billionaire and something's they do like they're trying to tear down the black billionaire. They're trying to tear them down because we it's like we don't have enough. So it's like if something negative is happening, they think it's a conspiracy. You know what I mean? Because we don't have enough.
I mean, that's a
So
conversation.
so I get it. I get why black people are like, nah,
But I
I
think
don't
if in
agree.
relation to the Diddy situation
Mm.
specifically,
Yeah.
um, this had nothing to do with his money. Like this was Diddy as a person. This was his character. This was his morale. Like he could have continued to be the black bill. I don't know if Diddy's, I think he is, but I'm like, he could have continued to be the wealthy, successful Diddy that we all know.
Hmm.
It was his character that came into question, which again, yes, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of white counterparts who are doing foul things, but also the systems they created. Like, I'm pretty sure things can go away. I'm pretty sure people wouldn't even want to come forward. But I think the culture attached to Diddy, like Diddy has always been for the culture, like all the things, that was kind of his demise because he was so accessible by the
Yeah.
culture.
It's both. It's his money and his actions.
Yeah.
And like you said, white people do have done the same thing. Like Jeffrey Epstein, they've used their power and their money to do whatever their character wanted them to do, which was be abuse other women or abuse men or whatever, exploit people. Um, yeah, there's I think Lee Clinton said it's called racism, and white people and they said white people are not judged by the worst of them. Only black people are, which is an interesting point. I think
And
that's a good point.
I think the thing we have to also admit about Diddy is like he should have been on trial for the abuse that he did to Cassie, right? And like we got to see him for who he was. But the most messed up part about it is it there was a chance he might have still been able to make a comeback, even after we saw the video of him like literally physically abusing Cassie. And it required 50 Cent to make this documentary for people to finally be like, you know what, all right, he's a terrible person or just not. So it required literal entertainment
Yeah,
to
that's
switch
so
people's
sad.
opinions on him to like prevent him from even ever being able to come back.
Well, I think the worst thing that happened was Cassie, and then after Cassie, people coming after people being emboldened to speak up. So now it's like it's not just Cassie; it's like a trickle effect of multiple other people. And then now this documentary exists that
The
really.
documentary, though, I don't know if y'all noticed, but in those clips that they got of him, he was saying something like, "I still want to be me, though. Like I still want to be Diddy." He was more so focused on being
I'm breaking up, sis.
You're
able to
breaking up,
come
my
out, and
sister.
I feel like the worst. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good now. You're good now. You're good.
Okay, I'll let y'all jump in. Yeah, but he was saying that he still wanted to come out and be able to be him and be able to be Diddy. So I think the worst thing that can happen to him is the fact that when he comes back out, there's like, no, you're infamous now. Like no one wants to touch you with a 10-foot pole. I think that will do more harm to him than any
That
prison
image.
sentence could ever
Hmm.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the ego, the hit to
the
the
ego
ego.
death of it all.
He
Because
Yeah,
got
he just
literally
like
like
honestly
all the
watching the
peasants.
documentary, I was like, Diddy is so insecure. Like
So
the insecurity of a.
so many ways of just showing like just I feel like inside, not to even like humanize him or try to like, victimize him, but I really do think like my guy was going through a lot. And like even how they mentioned in the documentary when he first got into the business, he swore against drinking, he swore against doing drugs. Like he wasn't even into doing all of that. And like when you end the vlog, when you end the video with him,
Documentary. Yeah.
all the different drugs that he's on, like the drink and like all this stuff. I'm just like, he really, of course, probably is dealing with his own demons, maybe by his own actions or things that were done to him. But you see so much insecurity throughout the whole documentary, and you see how power and money and control has like been this mask that he's been wearing for the last 30 odd years.
I think that it's beautiful that you said that because let's be honest with like what happened to him because it said allegedly it was either that he cut his hand in
Yeah.
the
Oh, I
incident with Kim
forgot about
Porter
that. Yeah.
and it was like either he did it himself to slit his hand or it was an
Mm,
accident. So that kind of insinuation, and I think it's funny because it's like a prime example of why like sometimes patriarchy isn't the best thing for men because you can build yourself up to like create this empire around you with money, with everything that like should represent a man, and it should be like the pinnacle of what everybody thinks a man should be able to have. And at
mhm.
the end of the day, if you don't heal yourself or don't go through the therapy that's necessary, you're still not going to be able to stop yourself
That's true.
and
And
prevent yourself from self sabotage.
yeah, I love that. I love how Sarah, you mentioned that earlier on in the live, but you were talking about like, why don't people go seek therapy before they get into these positions of powers? But I really feel like a lot of celebrities have this God-like image
Mm-hmm.
to where it's like, who are you to tell me? Like I got
Mm-hmm.
here, like I make more than you, or I'm da 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 da. Like, who are you to tell me about my traumas? And
Yeah.
I think also, therapy, I mean, it's becoming more normalized, but it has been a taboo topic in our culture,
Mm-hmm.
in the diaspora for years to come. So I just don't think it's like respected enough to where, oh, let me go get my heart's, let me go work my traumas and do my shadow work and do all these things before I become this multi-millionaire billionaire. Like they be like,
Yeah, but you're gonna. Yeah, you're gonna. But you're gonna be used to the like the demons that you're used to. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you.
I agree with you. I'm pro
You, oh
therapy.
yeah, oh yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
I'm
I
pro
know.
therapy, girl,
Oh yeah, I
but
know. Yeah, I know. Like I'm just speaking for like as far as Diddy. Like I feel like if you don't go get hear from somebody that doesn't agree with you or give you a different perspective or give you like a mirror, like you're going to be used to like the lifestyle, the negative, the demonic energy that you're
Mhm.
putting out into the world. That's all you're going to give out into the world unless somebody puts a mirror to you. And so yeah, I feel like a lot of, especially us black people, because I don't really care about other, I mean I'm from
Mhm.
this community. So, especially black people, I feel like we need to heal before we attain anything. And that's not even just for like Diddy figures. That goes for anybody.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
even us, like just even attaining a little bit of anything could, you don't know how you're going to deal with that.
But I
Mm.
Like,
think I think you have to be careful with specific language. Like when people talk about like demonic or like healed, like
okay, I'm
that,
sorry.
like the person saying no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the
Yeah.
way that like because somebody in the comment section mentioned that Diddy could come back and be like Christian and like
Hmm.
turn to the church and use that as a way to like kind of
that's
get
what
his
he was gonna
feelings
do with
healed.
that
That's what
documentary.
Brother Love was.
That was
That's
the
what that
plan.
persona was. Because even in the documentary, they mentioned TD Jakes and like him being
Mm.
his spiritual advisor and like all of that for the last few years or whatever. He been trying to pivot. When did he become Love, Brother Love? Hey, just vibes, y'all. Like he used
See,
to be
and
on there all the
but
time.
you need a therapist, and a pastor's cool too. But like, you could utilize religion for your own advantage too. Like, you need like a someone that's just arbitrary, neutral. Because sometimes if you just straight up go 180 and be religious, that
No,
also can be
I
bad.
think Diddy has mental health issues, and I don't think just going
Yeah.
to like
Oh.
talk therapy is what he needs. I think he needs like
Oh,
psychological help, and that
I agree,
takes a lot
girl.
of self awareness to even understand that that's something that you do need. You know,
And
so
like, I don't know if y'all seen
yeah.
this, but a lot of people, because now narcissism is a word that we love to use, right? Narcissist. This person's a narcissist, narcissist, narcissist. But it's like, I know we joke about it, but a lot of women have been using that word to describe like their past partners and stuff. And then the new running joke is like, oh, y'all found a new word that y'all just gonna run into the ground. But I think it's like we're actually putting words into things that we actually know the definitions of stuff
Mhm.
that we've been experiencing. So it's a two-hand street. Like, I do think there is narcissism that exists that is unchecked, it's unhealed, it hasn't like, and we need someone to diagnose those things. And
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be like a I guess like a negative thing, or looked down upon to
And a lot of
look at that.
people are working out of their trauma. They just don't know. Like
Hmm.
some people really don't know. They just do what they've always done and what has always worked, right?
Hmm.
And I think yeah, Tark said money doesn't change you, it reveals who you truly are. So when you get into different spaces or get different opportunities, who you are to your core, your trauma, the things that you probably haven't dealt with, they're just going to amplify. So if you've always been a person who was like, when you were younger, you knew that you could manipulate your mom in a certain way to get what you want, then you realize like, ooh, this works. Okay, let me see how many times I can do this throughout my life to get what I want. If you realize people pleasing to like make sure that everything is fine, like there's no conflict, there's no chaos, that worked. Guess what? You carried that on throughout your life and found different ways for that to like protect you. So again, I feel like people just need to be more self-aware and
Yeah.
realize like that's why I say even earlier in the live, like morality does play a part in it. Yes, it could be subjective of, what is more morale than, something else. But I think
Yeah.
it all boils down to if you really want to heal and be a better person, what's in your closet. Like everyone
Yeah.
got different things
And
in their closet. Nobody's perfect, but at
yeah.
least take the steps to try to work through it to be a
Yeah.
better person for yourself.
And I feel like we're like, especially for like, I'm not talking about any other community besides like my people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we are I don't want to say more because I'm not a psychologist, but I feel like we are vulnerable to having like dealing with mental health, or like mental health or personality disorders, because based off of the experiences that we've had,
Mm-hmm.
and everything that we have been through. So we are forced to navigate through trauma. So we're supposed to live our lives like
Mm-hmm.
I'll
And survive, just
and
survive.
survive
Mm-hmm.
through everything that we've been through. We can speak about South Sudan, like us, like our parents being like war survivors and living through the Sudan and South Sudan issue and how they had to navigate through that. And then also here in everywhere in the world, how Black people had to navigate through some type of trauma or experience that they've had. And so how they deal with that sometimes is not going to show up pretty. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And so it's not really about giving grace so much, but really understanding the types of like Diddy. I'm sure Diddy
Jeremy,
he came from a rough place, so I get that. Um, uh, Jeremy, come on now.
And that's the
He
thing. Like
said success
the thing
requires
about it,
some
I'm
level of
not trying to preach that you
narcissism.
have to be like this pushover, nice person that just, okay, whatever life gives me, like da da da. No, life is hard. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this is real life that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But you don't
Yeah.
have to be abusing people, like exploiting people, like doing the worst of the worst of the worst, just so that you can get a little bit of fame and money and
To,
power. Like,
to be a billionaire, you do
I mean, you do. No, that's
in a
why. I
way.
mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I want to read
anti-billionaires
Jeremy's comment. He
regardless,
said,
but
success requires some level of narcissism. Success requires ego, arrogance, ruthlessness, the negative side of life. You don't get nowhere in life by being a nice guy. Life and success is
He's right.
competitive, ruthless, and vicious. And that's why I told you that's why the
He's
1%, this
right.
is how they,
yeah, but the
this
thing
is how
about
they
it is
receive
like
power.
that's you're
That's
gonna
the ugly
sacrifice
truth.
your morale, you're gonna sacrifice your character, you're gonna sacrifice whatever's in your way to get that. And that's why I said earlier, like, what is it worth? Is it worth it? Now Diddy's about to be
That's what I'm
50 years
saying.
old. Bill Cosby's
Yep.
80 something. I don't know if he just got a job, whatever. But it's like, okay, yeah, you got it. You got the money, you got the power, you got the fame. I'm Diddy. I'm da 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 da.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nazora
cool.
said it
But
depends.
we
It
have to
depends on
admit
what you perceive as success. Hmm.
there's a difference between being like that in business and being like that when it
Thank
comes
In real
to
you. That's
life.
what I'm
your
trying to
personal
say.
life. You
Business
have to
is business,
separate business.
babes.
Like Jay-Z
In
is
a way.
ruthless in
That's it.
business, right? Jay-Z's ruthless in business. He cut off his friend. I mean, what's the name still talks about it to this day about Rockefeller. So that compared to like your personal life, two different things. And we have to admit that. Somebody's
That's
like
where
talking about
morale and character come into play. People need. I'm sorry. I know I'm probably not the post. Whatever. We need to stop acting like morale and character is not important. Like, what are we
Well,
doing in life if
it
it's
is
not?
important,
Like,
but no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
if you
I'm
want to,
sorry. Are y'all
if
just
you want,
assholes? Is that how
if
you
you
feel?
want, I think that if you want to become a billionaire, or maybe not even a billionaire, but close to that, there is going to be some level of exploitation that you have to be okay with.
Yeah, I believe
Period.
that. I do. I really do believe that. That's why
I
there's
mean,
not a lot of billionaires, and that's why I don't believe that we should
even
have billionaires.
even when I had my little small business, right, that I had going on, we were using, I don't know, we're using cheap labor.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's child labor or if it's like they just getting paid $1 an hour. But at the end of the day, that's exploitation. And
yeah,
I'm
but that
using, and no, I mean it's exploitation. And I'm not saying that like, I'm just saying like even in the smallest levels, like you have to exploit in order to make a profit in some
Yeah,
way.
but I would agree with Jeremy's point. Like, it's capitalism too, like,
Yeah,
again, if
yeah.
you think about it from the business aspect, yes, capitalism. Like, you
Hmm.
know, you better pull yourself up by the bootstraps and like get it out the mud, figure it out. If I could do it, you figure out a way to do it too. That is the
Yeah.
structure that we live in this culture in America, all the things. But
Hmm.
there is a through line when you see power trips in Africa. Like
Yeah.
you don't just see
But
that.
no, but capitalism is a game like right now. So it's like either you're gonna play the game or you're not. So we don't have really a like what's the other option? What is the other
I
so
think
that's
I
why
think there is
I don't
I
be
think
Billionaires,
I'm yeah, go ahead,
I
Emmanuel.
think there is other options and we've seen examples of it. Like I
Can
like
you can
for
you tell me?
like I remember there was this young girl who literally she was on Instagram. She was talking about how she made her business a co-op business where every one of her employees gets a percentage of like sales and everything was like co-opted. And people told her she was gonna fail. She's 3 years into it now, and the business has been more successful than it's ever been. I say
Hmm.
this to say that
No,
you don't
Mayo, we
necessarily
need a
have to
business
exploit.
like a society,
yeah, give
a
me
country.
Amazon,
We need like something bigger than
Google.
one person
Obviously,
to
I mean,
But
show.
What Jeff
but
Bezos talking
if
about?
we're
I
being
see what
honest,
you're
we
saying,
can
Mark
even talk
Emmanuel.
about China.
Zuckerberg.
China's certainly, if we're being honest with ourselves, in a better place than the United States
Did you just say
is.
China?
And
Oh my
like,
god.
for as much as we say, okay, yes, China does exploit other people, and I will say that it's not fully.
China
Yes.
is under a surveillance state, bro. Like,
We're under a surveillance state. Like I think
no,
we
but
as
China
Americans
has
don't
advanced to the
realize.
point where they have like a social credit system, bro.
Yeah, they are.
Are we
They
pretending
are
like we're not currently becoming a surveillance state ourselves? Even
slowly
to
but
the point where
surely.
now the
But
internet is getting to a
But
place where they're going to be
China is
monitoring.
not who we need to look to. Like, oh, this is the peak society.
Y'all
Like,
about to make me tipsy off this wine. Go ahead.
us, how we get in it?
How did we get into the title conversation? Anyway, let's get back to Diddy. Like,
Okay,
No,
let's talk about. Okay, I'm sorry. We're
no,
deep in.
we
I
were
know, and
talking
I
about exploitation, but I
we
just want
are,
to say,
but we
yeah,
need to talk about one of the most diabolical parts in the documentary, the Rod situation.
mm.
The way that threw me for a loop, because I already
Oh,
seen enough. This is like probably episode 3, late episode 3 or whatever.
can
You
you
And
talking about the
okay for
clapping?
the people who don't know what's going on? Can you explain like what the Little Rod situation is?
yeah, so Diddy decides to drop this Love album. I don't know. I think it came out like around the pandemic or so,
Hmm.
but he decided to drop this Love album, and then he like brought in all of these producers to see like what sound he wanted to do, all of the things. Little Rod, again, from that same kind of like mentality of like, bro, it's Diddy, like, this is my shot, this is my opportunity. He gets chosen to be one of the producers, or if the lead producer on this album, and ends up, were they in Miami? It was at the where he had the house. If
Yeah,
I'm
Miami.
Yes, so he basically like lived at the house, worked on this album for 7 months or so,
two
or
years.
probably
I
longer
think
than
it
that, a
took
year, 2 years.
2 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
he
took
took
7 months for him to get the verse right. 7 months.
Yeah.
He worked on it for like 2 years, but basically living at this house, basically kind of doing everything, being around Diddy for
Away
these
from
2
his
years,
family that he had
away
a
from his
family for
family, because
two
he was
Christmases.
promised 500,000 for this album.
Mm.
Or
Yes.
yeah, half a
That's
Something,
million for the
crazy.
something,
album. What about
something,
that?
something
20,
like that.
yeah, I feel like it was like 500,000. So then they were having these parties, freak offs, whatever you want to call it.
Distractions.
Yeah, while they were recording this album. And Rod mentioned in the documentary how like he would wake up sometimes and he wouldn't remember what happened. And then he had mentioned that there was instances where he woke up sore. He didn't really, insinuate what areas he was speaking to, but I think we were able to put
Continue it.
two
Two and
together.
two together. He said he would
And
wake up in the bed next to Diddy.
sometimes, yeah, because he was like, sometimes he'll wake up with girls, and then sometimes he'll wake up next to Diddy, just not really understanding what's happening. And then he got to a point in the process to where he wanted to just be like, all right, bro, let me just make this album. Let me write it out. I'm almost done. Like, let me finish it, make this money, and then I'm gonna dip out. Like, whatever I saw, he witnessed a murder, like, didn't know where the man went, disappeared.
Alleged.
Alleged murder. Yeah.
Allegedly.
They
But
never
then,
said what happened to the guy, but yeah, go ahead.
yeah. And then on top of that, dealing with the alleged sexual abuse and, of course, exploitation. And then after that, man didn't even still get his money, which was crazy.
Which,
But
like, at a
this
certain
was
point, you
like,
gotta
the thing
know.
about this is like 2019, 2020, Diddy still
Wait, no, the
still,
Brother
bro?
Love album came out. I think came out in 2023. Like, it came out a couple months. I remember.
But I'm saying, like, working on it
Before.
was like 20
Yeah.
COVID, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what
And
like that exploitation, that like a alleged sexual assault.
Okay,
How do y'all feel
I
about
looked
that?
at Lil Rod differently. What happened to him was messed up, right? Diddy, he did his job. He made the album. Diddy had the money to pay him. He just chose not to pay him, like he's
Yeah.
chosen not to pay a lot of other artists as a power move. Like, I have the money, I'm just not gonna pay you. And he just kept like pushing him down the road. Now, the alleged abuser, God knows what happened to him. I looked at him sideways because what Emmanuel was saying earlier, he was willing to go along to get along and ignore whatever was that happened to him as long as he got his money. He probably would have
Yep.
never came out and said that he was waking up with Diddy sore ever if he would have got his money. So my thing is like, is it about the money, or are you really looking for justice because you feel like you was taken advantage of it, God knows what way? So that, like, the fact that you woke up sore, you didn't know what happened with you, and you stayed around after that, I don't know.
But that's what we mentioned on the show. We talked about how everyone was complicit until something happened to them. Like, he saw
Yeah.
someone get shot in a studio bathroom, was like, whoop-de-doo. Like, let me see how I can help
Yeah.
him. And then let that,
Yeah.
fizzle out the way that it did. And you continue to work on this album. And that's why I say, like, I don't know who he sought out when it comes to his victims, like what he looked for to see who was going to be a good fit for what, Diddy was trying to get out of them. But yes, I do think that a lot of people played into whatever, ideals that Diddy had set out for them to like fall
So
into. But
Diddy's a
I
prime
get like,
example of
okay,
like
I
Cassie
get,
is a
he's a
victim though.
predator.
Like,
I
we
get
saw
what,
Cassie try to get away, and
yeah. No, I get what y'all are saying. Like, so you didn't say anything until now, but at the same time, it's like, okay, if he felt like he's gotten abused and he saw somebody get shot in the damn studio bathroom, he's been abused himself. He's probably like, if I went through all of this, I need to get my money.
that's how he
He
was
can't
And
saying it in
he
the
can't
in the show.
he
He was
can't
like,
just he can't just walk out, you know? So I
and
can
that's the
understand
problem is
him.
like
Yeah.
Diddy, like she was just talking about how Diddy knew what people to play with. Like think about the 50 Cent situation, even like the whole documentary, right? 50 Cent
mm-hmm,
talk about the incident where he's asked him to go shopping. Even like the Nipsey Hussle situation where Nipsey's in the studio with him
He's like, stop
and
clapping.
yes, yeah,
and
yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
stop clapping.
yeah,
He knows how to play with people because he's like, oh, I
mm-hmm,
can mess with this person because they
Hmm.
are starstruck by me and they'll let me habitually step these lines. Like
Mhm.
even
Hmm.
as like a person, you should know how to set boundaries because when it comes to
yes.
people like Diddy, they know how to subvert it and to subconsciously mess with you, and then eventually they're like, oh, I can play with that person.
Yeah,
I
and
know I
that's
can
the
control this
manipulative
person.
nature of it all, and that's
What
why
about
Yeah.
Meek Mill, Emmanuel? What you think about Meek with the
I'm
matching
not gonna no
outfits?
comment.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta
No,
come on.
but hold
Tell
on,
calling him
Chrissy,
daddy, telling him you proud of him.
about the little Rod situation. Some people were complicit, and that's the part that the lines get blurry. Some
no. But the
people
thing about it,
truly were complicit.
they were, but okay. So I think
But
you have
then
to
some
also
people,
realize it
but
too that
like Emmanuel said, we can't say it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, Cassie came out when she wanted to come out, and nobody said anything to her, and then also do the same thing to men. Like, why are you coming out now?
no,
Like
I think I get it. Look, I think
everybody
there's
came out now because they felt safe to come out now. Potentially, some people
You
are
could
being
be a victim
opportunists.
and you could be a victim and still be complicit.
that's what I'm
Like
gonna
you
say.
can
It's
do
Yeah,
both
twofold. I
things
you
and
think
be
two
can.
true at
things
once.
could be true
Yes,
at
you
once. This
can.
is the nuanced part
But
of
I
it. Yeah.
understand what Chrissy was saying. Was Chrissy was like, "Wow." So you just saying that now because
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
because little Rod like might have
His
turned me. I'm
story
like,
in general is one of the stories in the documentary that kind of was like, and I
the
understand like people
yeah.
are afraid of Diddy, afraid of what he might do. But my thing is like, dude, like you could have, you're a man, like you could have stood on your morals and been like, yo, I just woke up, I don't know what happened to me, I'm sore. Diddy in the bed with me, I'm going home. That's
No,
it. Like,
the part that I questioned him was when he pulled that guy out. He witnessed the shoot. He witnessed. He heard the shooting in the
right, and he got
studio,
back to work. Yeah.
and then he pulled the guy out and got him to the hospital, and then he still went to work. That would have
But
been my
the
last day at
cringiest
work
part is
because
that
that's
video
insane.
where they were joking around and Diddy was making him sing stuff. You could tell he didn't want to do it. And to me, it was like, yeah, he got you, bro. At that point,
Ye-
at that point, I could
Yeah.
see like he's got you. Like it's
Oh,
done.
But
he
he
got
had
you.
mentioned the thing about it. I think he mentioned in his interview about how he realized like he just had to play the part in
Hmm.
order to get what he wanted to get.
We
And that's why I say
so I
that's
get it. So
why
you're
I
complicit. So
understand
you're
the
complicit.
complicitness, or I guess
Hmm.
complicity, as well as being a victim, because I think he thought that, okay, this carrot that's being dangled in front of me, this 50K, like he probably, we don't know what Lil Rod had to do with that money. He probably had kids. I don't know. He probably had something that he already
No, I get
knew
it.
that that's what he was gonna do with it. But again, that's where I feel like the complicit nature comes into, because then you look at it from outside looking in, like, well, you technically weren't a victim, bro. Like you
So
could have walked away at any time.
does
But
that mean that all of them sold their soul? Essentially, they all sold their soul
I
for
think I
money.
think I think you have to ask yourself what you're willing to do, and if you go against your own boundaries, then that would technically be selling your soul. And we don't know what their boundaries were because they were willing to do everything in that situation, so it might not be against their own soul. And like I want to point out that like the way that Diddy operated, he was very charismatic. He used positive language to
Hmm.
conceal his ill intent. Like I always say, like you can tell when a person is like really good at manipulating somebody is like when he started gassing him up and gassing the people up and be like, you know how much I love you, you know what we've been through
You're my
together.
best friend.
He's turning his problem into y'all's problem. And he's
Hmm.
saying that his success is our success. That
Hmm.
level of like being able to like curate people together to accomplish your goals tells me how much of a manipulator he is and how great he is at it. Because at that point,
Oh,
you're like,
Emmanuel.
I can't mess this up.
Did you see the part in the documentary when they were recording? I guess it was like Lil Rod and them, and then he was like, "Y'all, I'm lukewarm. Y'all hot." Like he was basically trying to say like, "Y'all not turning me up enough. Like y'all are not make like y'all hot. I'm not hot." Like it's
Right.
just like
He was like, y'all
He
can't
the
was
be hot
everything
if
was
I'm
he
always
was
getting
about him.
he was
yeah.
drugged up, baby.
And it was
Them
like it's because he
drugs.
really just didn't have the talent, but he was like, "Nah, y'all hot. I'm lukewarm. Like y'all not turning me up enough. Y'all are not making me hot. Like y'all are here to make me
And
hot."
he was
Like,
slapping himself. He was like, "Let's
yeah,
go, let's go." I was like, "Sir,
he
you
was like,
just
"I
said
gotta
that."
find the sound that
Uh,
gets this kind of away from me."
So I say like this: there's some people that can steal talent from another person simply by making the person realize how great they are in that moment and making them feel great at that moment,
You
and then
cannot steal
afterwards,
talent.
when you're around other people, being like, yeah, I did this, I
Mhm.
curated this around these people, I brought
mhm.
these people together. When it really was just like you saw two talented people, they got together, made magic, and you said, I produced that.
Yeah, I feel like that was his whole MO in the music business.
Mhm.
Even that whole Love album, it's probably 25 people on that damn album, plus of artists. Like that wasn't a Diddy album. No one was checking for Diddy. But the
Right.
features that he had on there and like the way that he was promoting it, he was on his brother love tip, all the things like it was supposed to be this love album, this peace album, like whatever this R&B, we bring an R&B back. Like I remember that
Mhm.
time of him marketing
Yeah,
that.
and nobody was checking
And
for it even back then.
nobody
That's
was
for sure.
checking for it.
No one's ever was like, "Oh, where's that new Diddy?" Like, no one ever was looking for Diddy ever.
I think
I
most of
didn't
the
even know
time the
Diddy had
Diddy
songs
albums
like that. Like
were the
until I watched the
hits.
documentary, I said, Diddy had a song.
Because any
He
Diddy
was
hit, you're
stupid.
like, damn, Diddy was the one that made that. That's
Yeah.
what music
He
thing.
had an ear.
Yeah, I was really confused.
He definitely had an ear for music and talent for sure.
He had
He had
people
a,
writing all his shit, man.
no, but he had an ear. He knew what was marketable. He knew what
He
was
did,
he
but
saw what he
he was
saw
But
talent.
also
that's what manipulators do.
yeah
You're very aware of what works. And you know that
Yes.
that's
yes.
why I say it goes back to him being like
Narcissism, narcissist. That's what
But he
but
was
narcissists
also like
do.
very
also
insecure because you know
yeah.
that like, oh, I don't have that, but I know it because I see it in you. So how can I
Hmm.
either attach
But
myself to
he's a
you?
motivator. He's a dream seller. He'll be like, "We're
Yeah,
gonna
he
do
gonna
this.
dangle that
We're gonna
carrot
run the
though.
world. Me and you, baby. We're gonna go to the top." But
Right.
like, he'll get you all excited. Like, this is my ticket. Like, I'm out here. Like, I made it. Like, I'm working with Diddy now. And he will like ghost you. So many people would be like, he would motivate them and make you feel like you're on top of the world. He was really good at making people believe in themselves and getting them hyped
Yeah.
up and where they needed to be, so that he could be able to exploit you properly.
And that's why I think it's about like who he was seeking out. He knew that I feel like he had a type, a MO. Like back in the Criminal Minds day, they used to always talk about like, you know, like who was their MO? Like who were they looking for? Because he had a type. Even when he told Cassie at a time, she was like, "Oh, I can't be doing the freak offs that often. I have a career." And he was like, "Oh no, baby, this is your career now. Like all you do is freak offs." After he didn't sign this girl to a 10 album deal and did all the things,
Hmm.
he basically
Hmm.
was like, "Oh no, I got you already. Now you about to do this until I tell you that you're not about to do it anymore."
Not to mention that, like Cassie, that song that she released with Oh Boy, like it was good when they were together. And notice when Cassie got
Me
with
and
Diddy,
you.
yes, like when Cassie got with Diddy, Diddy specifically prevented her from being able to release any more music, and
Yeah,
that's how
bro, who
diabolical
signed
he
someone
is.
to a
Like,
10 album deal, bro? Who are you, bro?
Did
That's the
did
worst deal
Cassie
I've
only had
heard of.
one
10
album, didn't she?
albums, bro.
Did she even have an album?
Bro,
Cassie,
who even has
she
10
was
albums? There's
working
very few
on one
artists
for
that have
years. It
10
just never came
albums.
out.
See, that's slavery.
Bro, he got her and but I mean Cassie was like what 19.
No,
She was
he
very impressionable.
no,
Impressionable.
did he crack the code? He cracked the code
He
on how to
found
abuse people
something.
and exploit people. And that's why sometimes I'm like, sometimes it's okay to be broke. Because like
I don't even
sometimes
think you gotta be broke, bro. You just have to understand like what is your moral compass. You have to have
broke
you
people don't
gotta
have
have
Diddy
character.
problems.
No, you gotta have character, bro. I refuse to believe
Fair,
that you
fair,
gotta
fair.
like be the worst of the worst person just to have like a decent life, bro. Like, yes, money and power and control, like that's what capitalism and pay all of that is built upon. But I don't feel like you have like
I don't feel
What?
I
like
think
health.
that's
I don't
why
feel
a
like
lot of the celebrities they be having those crises, and you be seeing them crashing out and going through it. Because I think they get the money and the fame, and they realize like it wasn't worth it. Because
It's
now
not
I've
worth it,
compromised
bro.
who I am, and now I'm like struggling mentally and psychologically. And people are like, "You're
yeah,
rich, you're famous. Like, what's wrong?" And they like
Yes.
want to kill
yeah,
themselves. You know?
Because we
yeah,
understand like
yeah.
life, once you have your needs met, like we don't need much to have our needs met. It may look different to some other people. Like some people may shop at Walmart, some people may shop at Whole Foods regularly. Like,
Or
like
Target.
but you're still gonna get food, like your needs are gonna be met. You
Yeah,
may live in a mansion, somebody may live in an apartment, but you have a roof over your head. Like
Mhm.
you may drink Mountain Valley water, someone drinks purified water. I don't know, but like you have water. Like your needs will be met. And once you meet your needs, everything else is desires and wants and like lifestyle. So
yeah.
you want to do whatever you want to do to maintain the lifestyle that you set out for yourself and what you have deemed as success. By all
Hmm.
means, do that. But I don't think that when we look at celebrities and we look at their pinnacle of success, if that's the case, why so many celebrities killing themselves? Why so many people that got millions
Because
and
I feel
billions
like
of dollars?
guilt.
Like,
I
if
feel
they're
like
so
there's some
happy and
guilt.
successful, then how
There's
are we?
some.
How is that the North Star? That's what I'm just trying to figure out. Like,
I think we have to have the conversation of like a lot of the times it's like predatory towards young people and people who are naive to the actual industry. Like if you've had a
mhm,
conversation with somebody that's been experienced or find mentors, a lot of the times you have to be willing to accept that like, hey, not every opportunity is a good opportunity. And even when Cat Williams said it at the beginning of this year, right? You got to tell Diddy no. And we wouldn't realize how fucking significant
you
this
should
was
put that in
until
a
right now.
documentary.
Like we gotta give it up for
He
Cat
did say that.
because
He told
that
us about a lot.
everything that he spoke about at the beginning of this year, like we've had one big example after the next big example of this. Even the white girl conversation, this head football coach going through that, the Diddy conversation,
Even with
and like
Shannon Sharp. He told
it's
Shannon Sharp.
I think it's just the industry in general, and I think it's most industries. When you're successful, people get weird because once they get to this money point, their minds get corrupted because they're like, what else can I do? And
Mm-hmm.
how can I feel like I did when I first got into the industry and was happy and was all this? And you realize that these men, especially these people in power that are older, they're siphoning off of young people.
Mm-hmm.
And when they speak about these young people, they're like, "Oh yeah, they're bright. I want to break them in the industry." Terrible way, but like, let's be honest with what the language is when it comes to all these things in the industry. Whether it's modeling, whether it's any entertainment form, it's always scary because you have to have a good sense of self. And when the entry is such a young age, no young person has a great sense of self. If I
Yeah,
got famous when
you're
I
Maybe
was
not young.
17,
You're
19,
young.
18,
Emmanuel, maybe that's why they prefer you to be as young as possible when you get into
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So you don't know that you're being manipulated. And I watched Eddie Murphy's doc on Netflix, and he was talking about like how he wasn't caught up in a lot of the things that other celebrities, artists, actors were caught up in when he was younger, is because he was like, oh no, I love myself and I had a sense of who I was even
Hmm.
when I was younger, to where he's like, I buried so many people or I've
No,
seen so much
Kiki
that has
Kiki
happened.
Kiki Kiki Palmer said her parents were always her managers
Yeah.
because
And that's not to say I don't know
they
what
needed to
happened, but
know what was going on in this industry
Hmm.
because this
yeah.
industry does exploit young people.
That's how
And
R.
people that
Kelly got
don't
all
love
them girls
themselves.
because their parents were so thirsty for fame. They was just letting him go over there. And Diddy too. Usher's
But
parents let him go over there and
it's
live
not
with them
even
for a
just
year.
that. It's not even just like young women or like the youth, the fountain of youth. I think there's something to be said about like how we view like power and wealth,
Yes,
like
yes, yeah,
all of
yep,
those things and success.
yep. And being
Because
attached to someone
hmm
because of what they have or like their status, because it still goes on to this day. You see women that be in the studio with different rappers, artists, whatever, but
yeah.
it's because I have like proximity to this person. But you don't, it's like
Hmm.
nigga, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes or what you're being
Yeah.
subjected to. And
Yeah.
even what they're praying out, like what they're looking out to be like, okay, I want her. Yeah, I want to go back home with her. And you're just like,
Hmm.
oh, it's so and so. I don't care.
it
Okay.
reminds
Yeah.
me of remember when like Quinn Blackwell was dating what's that? producer. What's his name? The white producer that was like 40
Yes,
something.
Diplo.
Yes, that I remember
Oh,
watching
I
that and being like,
remember that.
I was like, whoa, she's 19. And I was just
That's
looking at it, and you just kind of
crazy.
look sideways at some of these people where like the industry makes it normal for like a 50, 40, 30-year olds to be with like these 19, 18, and even 17, if we're honest with like Tyga's situation, right? These girls.
Yeah.
And like,
Not
it's
Tyga.
so common because people are like, oh, he just likes them younger. Hmm? What are we talking about here?
But
And
yeah,
I
it's
do think that there
wise.
is a level of like understanding that yes, we probably won't amount to because we're not in the industry. We don't live that life. We haven't like grown up in that. But I think Tarek had a point about like he had a question. He said broke people don't have Diddy problems. And he mentioned the
Oh,
pimps.
I said that.
You said that?
Yeah, sometimes it's good to be broke.
No, he was saying how like we were talking about like, yes, it's good to be broke, but he was questioning like broke people still have Diddy problems in a sense. Like the pimps that have the girls on Harry Hines or like whatever, like they have that same MO as Diddy, probably not to the same
Not Harry
scale.
Hines. Mhm.
Right. They out there. But
Like shit, not close to home.
but they probably don't have the
Yeah.
same scale as Diddy, but they still are running their operation probably from the same type of
Oh
like
yeah, for
material,
sure. Oh, for
you
sure.
know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
So
and I
sure.
think that's a great point because celebrity is a expanded version of like the regular world, where we
It
got to be
is.
honest. Like these people usually are coming from broken homes, and they're coming from
mhm.
positions where like they don't have anything else, so they're easily exploited. So like
Yeah.
when you look at a pimp, pimps are similar to like how you talk to industry people and how they perform their business. They convince somebody that what's bad for them is good for them, and that producing for them, the CEO, the person in charge, and being like, pay me back for letting you be able to have this lifestyle.
Yeah.
When truly that lifestyle is all BS anyway. It's just people appear to
Yeah.
be glitz and glamour, but behind closed doors, come on now.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
think about how
Look,
Diddy
IG
listen,
Diddy grew
baggy is
Vita
up.
thick.
Vita
Diddy
Vita
grew up with pimps.
Vita said it on the episode that we talked about with
Mm-hmm.
Diddy. When I was saying like Diddy created his own idea of manhood, she was like, he didn't create it. It's just toxic masculinity. It's like the toxic version of what people view manhood to be, which is like be controlling, be aggressive, be the one who's like exploitative, like takes advantage of people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's not something that he created. I said he created it, but no, he didn't create it. It's what's already
It's
been in
all
the
aligned.
forefront. It's what's always been in the forefront of. I mean, but that's I feel like that's that masculinity from the colonial point of view. Exploit, take, steal, and that's where we have gained. That's where we learned our idea of masculinity. I
I
don't
mean,
think that's real
you could say that.
masculinity.
I think you could say that, but I would lead it to even more. I would say that like you're right about the colonial thing, but I would say like remember when we were having the conversation about the pink pill and the red pill, right? About how both
Mm-hmm.
sides lead us to the same road.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy would be considered like a red pill icon, right? Where he's a dude that goes and exploits these women.
Yeah.
He has the money. He does everything
Oh,
else, right?
yeah, he
But
was a
then
Redfield icon. Yeah.
exactly. And then Cassie, when she was 19, would have been the same person that would like probably would have watched Series 7, probably would have watched these specific people to learn how to get the money out of a person like Diddy, not realizing that the dark truth of it is you end up in a situation like Cassie ended up in, or all these people where like this is what the red pill and this is what these specific things end up being, and you don't want to live this kind of lifestyle. So at the end of the day, it's like it's making you be exploitable very easily.
Mhm.
Because even that young man that was willing to do anything to make the money would have probably been a person that listened to red pill stuff, and he would have led to him being exploited.
It's
Yeah.
Like,
so sad.
And that's what, again, a through line in that documentary was like people were willing to do whatever to get what they wanted out of it. But Diddy was also getting what he wanted out of it, but he had the power.
Yeah.
So,
And
and he
then
had the
now,
ability to
is it
dangle. He knew
is
what
it
they wanted. So he had that power to dangle that.
is it a problem that they're now speaking up now? Like,
Mm-mm.
is it like why are you now choosing this moment to speak out? Or you could have spoke out
You
a
saw
long
even in
time
the
ago.
documentary,
Because
like the
Cassie was the one who broke the straw that broke the camel's back.
Well, I mean, we
And
got to
she
give
wasn't,
credit to
and
the
she
young
wasn't
lady
even
that
there that long.
the young lady at the beginning of the documentary. I
Yes,
think she
Joy.
was the first one to really be. Well, no, Cassie did break it, so I think she was the first one to like
Oh
But we
yeah,
know
ever try to
Cassie.
speak
We
about it.
know. Think about it.
yeah.
We
She was the
Cassie
first known
Cassie being
figure.
attached to Diddy has given her the ability to have like merit in Hollywood. So if
Yeah,
Cassie is coming out and saying something or like creating a lawsuit in comparison to Joy, who I had no idea who she was until I watched the documentary, even his exec Kirk, he filed a RICO charge against Diddy like years ago, but that didn't see the light of day. So it's like she was the first one to say like, or the first one to make a move that actually had the backing behind her,
yeah.
where
Nazora
and the
said,
whole culture rallied behind her, and they were like,
yeah,
"Oh, okay." And I think that's why a lot of victims come out after they see someone else say something because they don't want to be the one that's like, hear me, like this happened to me, guys. Like, I promise you, I have the truth. I know what's going on. And they're like, oh, yeah, we don't know you, girl. Like, we don't. And that's
yeah,
kind of how social media does people. And that's the truth of the matter. Like, we don't listen until we have like the evidence or we can like
yeah,
back you and say, she wouldn't lie about that.
yeah.
It's like the Bill Cosby situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, I just want
50
to read a
people.
comment real quick. Nazuda said, "Who would have believed them back then?" Which is true.
She didn't have the evidence.
I don't
Well,
think people
no,
back
she would.
then
Who
were
they
necessarily.
wouldn't have believed the other victims. Like Cassie was in such close proximity. I don't know how other people felt, but when I read that, I felt like it was damaging to Diddy.
But
Like,
even on X, like people weren't really believing Cassie. It was kind of like up in the air because again, you have this
well,
persona of who,
they didn't want to believe Cassie because Diddy is this like
yeah, you
profound
have this persona of
figure.
like Diddy. Why would Diddy do that?
Well,
But when that
they're never
video got
going to
leaked,
believe. They're never going to believe the women victims. Like they're never going to. It's just never going to happen.
I
Like
mean, I mean, if we're being,
Megan the Stallion wasn't believed. Chloe, even
I would say
hold
Big
on.
Meech.
No, we're
that's
just
Sarah
not going to be
Lane. Sarah got
believed.
a point today.
We're just never going to be believed. Not Chloe Bailey. Halle Bailey was not believed when she talked about her situation with her guy. Um, there's been so many. Tina Turner wasn't believed all the
Wait,
way
Tina
back
was
then.
definitely believed. Everybody
No,
knew
she
about
wasn't.
Tina.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
yes, she was.
Her husband was on the news.
Yeah, Ike
It's,
was a piece of. But this thing, Ike
no.
and what's his name, the Yoko Ono's husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yoko Ono's husband was beating on her at the time, but that you got to remember, it's the '60s. They allowed a lot of abusers to just be
That's what
out
I'm
there. They
saying.
they
But
didn't
like
give a crap.
they weren't. They were
They were
under
believed.
the.
They just didn't care.
They were under. Yeah, they were
Yeah,
okay.
they
They
just
didn't
they just didn't
care, or
care.
they were
You
under
got
the
to be honest
impression
about the '60s.
you're trying to you're trying to tear a black man down.
No. Ike was a piece of shit.
And
Like
but
everybody hates Ike.
you because you a guy that understands, but people don't believe black women. That's why there's the
Yeah,
whole
and
hashtag
a
I
lot of
was I
people
was
believe
gonna
didn't
point
black
out
believe.
two
women.
figures
They didn't
that
believe
we got to
Cassie.
talk about, which is
They didn't believe
Tupac and Mike
Cassie.
Tyson.
Hmm.
Tupac and Mike Tyson.
Hmm.
Nobody cared about those victims ever. And
Tupac
that's
and
a
Mike
prime
Tyson.
example of like two, because everybody loves
Oh
Tupac and
yeah.
everybody loves Mike
Oh
Tyson.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I know. I know what you
Nobody
mean.
will admit to themselves. I say the same thing. That's why I think Diddy got so much grace and time. Is because again, these black figures nobody will ever want to touch it because they're like, well, they're so loved.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And she probably lied. And that's
Because
what
they
they say, even
because
though
they because they do have their own victims. Those men that are beloved have
they were
Yeah,
victims.
both
I feel
convicted.
like, child, no one is an angel. We're not over here putting people on pedestal out here. But I would say, yes, even with us in the social media era, like a lot of people weren't believing her lawsuit, even how outrageous it sounded, until that hotel footage got leaked and we saw it with our
Oh
own
yeah. Also,
eyes.
Cassie's not black. That's something we always
Oh,
forget.
who said that?
Cassie isn't black. I forget that
Oh,
all the
wow,
time.
that's crazy.
I thought Cassie was mixed.
I thought she, dang, that was,
Cassie's not mixed.
No, no. I remember I
She's
made a
not
joke.
mixed.
Yes.
yeah, the internet, bro. The thing about it, we live in such a digital age. First of all, our attention span is about to go to shits. Let's start there. So we don't even
No.
have the capacity to even like make room to read lawsuits, read 50-page documents. So once everyone saw the video, they were like, well, if this is an AI, then this is actually Diddy dragging Cassie around this hotel room
Because and
on
that's
hotel
why
lobby or whatever.
I will forever ride for my girl Megan the Stallion, because
Mm-hmm. Girl.
what happened to the victims of Diddy is exactly what Tory Lanez did to Megan the Stallion. He did a PR move where he reached out to bloggers and tried to spin the narrative against her to make her look like a liar, a villain, a drunk, a non-perfect victim. Because that's what Black women are not allowed to be. We're not allowed. We have to be. We're not allowed to be like imperfect victims. We have to be a perfect victim to be seen as a victim. And even if we are perfect, we're still not gonna be seen as perfect.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but Tory Lane spun the narrative on Megan Thee Stallion. He's a modern day
Or he
Diddy PR spinner, if
following.
you ask
Well,
me.
But I think
And
that goes back
I
to
don't
what
care.
Emmanuel was saying like early on
Yeah.
about like you have to have boundaries. Like you have to have morale and
Hmm.
character, bro. Like
Hmm.
you just have to, because when you do, I was like, when I watched the documentary, I said, thank God I don't love anything that much that I
Yeah.
was sacrifice. I don't give a fuck what it is. Money, clout, nothing. I don't love anything that much that I will sacrifice my self dignity. And we're on live. We'll keep this forever. I would not sacrifice my dignity and my self-worth to be in positions of like power or
What
control.
if it's $1 million?
I don't give a fuck.
yeah, you
I'm
gotta get. You
sorry. I
gotta
don't want
look
to cuss
when
on
it
live.
comes to
Because
money.
No, I don't care. Money is not my end
Little Rod
all
was
be all.
owed, because apparently he was owed $500,000,
Mm-mm.
and
If the person
he
has a
felt like
history of not paying you,
I
what's
yeah.
don't
the
care
point
what
of
it
even
is.
trying that?
No. There's
Also, okay,
nothing,
so
there's
we
no
we
dream, there's no career. And maybe I'm just speaking, I'll speak for myself on that. There's no dream, no career, no money where you about to. No, I think we have to highlight like the fact that a lot of people were getting turned out. People were doing outlandish things,
But
and
okay,
you have a
we
career
also have to
and
remember where these people were coming from, like the
you ain't got
environment
no
that they're
other
coming from.
interests. We ain't got
yeah,
no
but
other.
I
No,
don't care how broke
like,
you are. Like at the end of the day, everybody's been in a point where you've been super broke, and
but
like I don't
nobody
care.
thought. I don't think anybody thought that they were about to be broke working they were proximity to Diddy. I don't think
Wait,
anybody thought
everybody
that.
knew Diddy didn't pay people. Like Diddy Mace has been saying this
He
forever.
has, especially
Like
his PR
like
tour.
the money
Oh, you
problem
talk.
with Diddy,
Oh, you're talking
everybody's
about
known.
modern day Diddy. Yeah,
Biggie
like
Mama had to sue him
I
to
get
get
that.
money.
No, I'm talking about people from the '90s, like from the documentary. I
Oh
think
yeah,
like some people didn't like. They just thought
but
like,
Little Rod
ain't
knew
no
this
way I'm gonna be
information.
broke.
No, that's
Jeremy
what I'm
said.
saying. Now, if we
Jer-
talk about like early 90s, though,
Mhm.
Mm.
I get that because
Yeah,
we
yeah, we
were
didn't
not in
know.
like the technological age where we
Yeah,
knew that social
but
media was
now,
what it is now.
yeah,
Lil
yeah.
Rod, bro, this is 2019, 2020. Be so for real, bro. Like you probably
How
could
old
have
is
done
Little
your
Rod?
research.
I gotta find out how old Little Rod is. He looks young.
He probably was young, but
Yeah, but he
I
looks
will
young
say
right
that
now.
bro, I
Little
understand
Rod
that's
does
probably the
fit.
business, and people probably have to. They're willing to be like, "Hey, I want the fame, I want the clout, I have this talent, I feel like this is what I want to do," and they do that. But money should never be that good, bro. Like to where you're willing to sacrifice your.
Your dignity.
Maybe it's not worth it. Maybe it's
Jeremy said, Sarah, would you have done it for $1 million? Would you have got Diddy for a milli?
would
No,
you
I
have
would.
got Diddy is
No,
great.
Getting Diddy is
no,
insane work.
no. I don't think I would have got Diddy for a milli. But I mean, I'm not gonna judge people who I feel like have been in positions where they feel like they needed something, or they thought that they were gonna make it, and this person promised them something. They were exploited at the end of the day. Like, I'm not gonna blame the people who were exploited over the person that did the exploitation.
Okay, I
Period.
have a question then, Sarah. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
let's speak about Cassie. Cassie was a artist. Okay, she came into it
Hmm.
with Dallas Austin as her producer. I think they had a little thing going on, whatever. But think about it. You have this passion to make music. You feel like this is a gift from God, and you say, you know what, I'm going to go into the music industry.
Cassie had a gift from God to make music.
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about you,
Oh
Sarah.
yeah.
Sarah, the
Oh,
artist.
gotcha.
You know, so we
Mhm.
market you as the artist. You love music. You're in the studio. You You meet this guy who has power, control, he has
Mm.
connections to the music industry, and he's basically like, I can give you everything that you like. An artist? You want to be an artist? I got that. Like, that's nothing.
Easy.
So you want, like, this is your dream. This is what you feel like you have been called to do. You left your life, your family, all of that. And you end up, you know, spending time with him, probably studio sessions. One thing leads to another. Now y'all are in this limbo of a relationship, for lack of better terms. And, you know, y'all start exploring, doing things like whatever, XYZ. And then you're like, hey, but my album though. And he's like, oh, yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. And then you're like, okay, a couple months. But my music though, you said I have 10 albums. I have to get to work. Like, what's going on? And then as time goes on, you are sucked into this new life of being a sex worker. And this person is still dangling, like, you know, be on red carpets. Because even they went back and showed the footage of, like, he was still with Kim Porter. He had them twins around the time he was still dealing with Cassie. So he's
He
grooming
was a
you
side chick.
to become this person. So at what point do you be like, newsflash, this man is probably not the person that's going to give me my dream. Now I have woken up and turned into this person who is having sex with random men for hours on end and being drugged.
Well,
You know
I feel
what I'm
like,
saying? It's like,
by the time,
where do we lose the plot?
if
I
it's
think
me,
I think you have
if
to
it's
point out
me,
that I think the abuse is more of the situation for it, because in my head I'm like, Cassie was in love with Diddy, and she was an active participant in these situations. Like, even when you see the documents and the
whoa,
conversations about
Do you think
the
it was mutual? Do
abuse.
you think the love was mutual?
Well, I would say like this. I think when she came out, when she finally left Diddy, right, even in the text messages, right, it was when he was admitting to like Kim Porter being the love of his life, right? So that's when she finally put out the
That's
lawsuit
what they
and
did.
then and got with the man, right? And I have to point out that like she has a lawsuit against her by some of the what's called workers about other situations. So I'll say like this: I'm not. That's why I said Cassie can be the non-perfect victim, because she's still a victim in this, and I'm never going to deny that. I'm never going to deny that. But when Cassie first saw Diddy, she saw him as the next jump up and the next opportunity up, so that she can advance her career. And then it turned into that trap that happened to her. And that's where you have to have the conversation with yourself. What are you willing to do to advance your career? And once you get to a point where you're stuck and you see no way out until you finally can be able to get the lawsuit and finally be able to live your life the way that you wanted to normally, but then now you're sucked back into this
Right.
for the court and all the situations that she went into. So it got worse for her, I think, as it went on. But at the end of the day,
but
the
that
worst part
okay, but
about it
No,
is
but going back
and
to the question,
that's
what you
my
said.
thing. That's my answer. It's like, okay, sh- she could have endured whatever and willing to endure whatever, but it's like what she knew that she was going to endure. Like, what was she told? At the end of the day, like, yeah, he could have done her wrong and she could have been wrong in so many areas. But if he manipulated, he took advantage, I don't think that she consented to a lot of the things that happened to her. So it's really about the consent first. And Jeremy is like, there, so you would have been Diddy for $1 million. No. I mean, I think some people are willing to do whatever for 1 million, but like at the end of the day, it depends on what has been told to, like, what have they consented to? I don't know or believe that Cassie consented to all of those things that happened to her for
no, I'm talking about the
what
abuse part. I
lifestyle.
don't believe in. I don't believe in any of the abuse. Like I don't think she
Yeah,
wanted or considered to any of the
any
abuse.
of
That's what I was
those.
gonna say.
So
That's what
people,
I was
but
gonna
people
say.
are trying to act like because she was living a certain lifestyle, she she should be okay with what happened
Not
to her,
even sure.
or
I
it
think this is
doesn't
why we have to have
matter.
the conversation of like people have to admit that like a lot of these people that watch this trial, their biases towards sex workers is the reason why I think Diddy was able to get such a light sentence.
It's misogyny.
I wouldn't even
Y'all,
say
I'm
it.
so
I think it's just
sorry.
like people
How
don't.
how much longer y'all trying to go? Because my phone is about to die soon. I tried
Oh
to jump
no,
Uh,
off camera to charge it, but because
I
of
gotta pee.
StreamYard, it's taking so much of my battery.
they gotta pee.
I got,
To be
but
Yeah,
continued.
wine, girl.
not
Funny.
to be continued.
Somebody said Christina went silent.
Don't win silent.
No, because I
No,
was
but
like looking at my phone battery, and I'm like, what am I gonna do?
no, but I mean, I don't know. I just like I think that like yeah, I think Cassie was complicit to some things, but there's some things that you know is gonna happen. And there's some things that you're like, okay, hold on, I did not subject myself to any of this.
But
So
the
that's
rap,
where the
so
lines get blurry.
I think what
You
I
know?
saw throughout the documentary, and just I think we did hit on a lot of things, but like I saw that a lot of people, he put them in position to where what were they gonna go to if they weren't living this life, right?
I
Like
was gonna
Cassie
say
was
that
on
too.
the gala, like she
Yeah,
was, like she was that girl. Cassie has always been that girl. She was gorgeous, like she was a trophy, like she probably consented to a lot of those things of just being on his arm and what that looked like, because again, Diddy was one of the most prominent people in the business. So yeah, you get to be on his arm at the Grammys, you get to be whatever the case may be. But I think everyone, when you think about Day 26, you think about Kirk, you think about Capricorn, you think about all the people,
yeah,
all the people in the documentary, that attachment to Diddy brought them a life that they probably never seen before.
yeah,
And because of that,
yeah.
they were like, that's crazy doing
And
that.
you
I'm a
speaking of
up
that,
here.
like the
Because what they gonna do? What else are they gonna,
Cassie's beauty, I feel like Cassie was meant to lure men in. Like
or be
lure
like the baddest, like you, because I think men, a lot of men, that's where the whole trophy wife I think even comes from. It's like men want women on their arm that other men want to,
yeah, but
want to be with, or like want to,
the escort
yeah,
that Cassie was messing with said that like when he saw Cassie, she was absolutely beautiful. So I
yeah.
feel
Cassie
like
is
that Cassie
gorgeous
was Cassie was his gateway to, for
because it
Diddy
made him look better.
to bring the men. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, we'll open up a whole nother portal.
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
she's
But
not
my
wrong
That's
because
what
sister
I'm
he.
logged out. Like I think her
That's
phone.
what I'm saying. He was using Cassie on not only for he was kill two birds with one stone. She's gorgeous. I can have her in my arm, but also I could use her to bring other men into my hotel room. Because
Yeah,
that's what I got from when he said like when that escort said I saw a girl in there and she was absolutely beautiful. That was Cassie. I was like, oh, she was the lure.
yeah.
She was the lure to bring the man into Diddy's
Because he
hotel.
was mentioning how at the beginning it was just him and Cassie, and Diddy would just watch, and then there would be like times where like Diddy would get involved and like whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, it's like again, I feel like he chose his victims well, and well, not well, but I feel like he was very, intentional about who he was choosing.
Because
And
I'm
with
like,
Cassie, he played the long game with her.
why would you want Cassie to go bring the escort inside?
I
Because
think okay. So
I
this
say,
is where I have to have this
go ahead, Gabriel,
conversation.
go ahead.
Remember the whole Sweetie
Mm-hmm.
situation with like her supposed person outing her for her alleged S work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I think Diddy knows his victims by specifically looking for those women that he knows have been in the escorting game, especially when it comes to entertainment. People don't admit this, but like, there are a lot of shills that like they're in the entertainment industry, but they're mostly known for like their escorting and being around these powerful men and being paid for their time. And I think this is where Diddy's able to still get his victims. And I'm not alleging that Cassie was or wasn't, but like at the end of the day, this is where you can have those opportunities again with pimping and all that stuff. And that's where he's easily able to still make them victims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately, I feel like Cassie was one of the most prominent victims because they were together for like 10,
And
8
because she
years.
was raw. She was young.
Yeah. And I think we saw her, I feel like everyone saw her as Cassie in the Me and You video, like this gorgeous girl in that era of like Rihanna, Beyonce,
Fresh.
like for like just A Marie, like that early 2000s vibe. And we're like, oh my God, who is this girl? And then you just never really hear anything else about her. And then you just see her on the arm of Diddy's at every event, every award show. So, but I think a lot of people, they had a life with Diddy, and then when they no longer had that attachment, their lives looked differently. And he had that power and control over pretty much everyone, even his kids. I think he still has so much power over his kids to where you see they are quiet. They went to court
What
and
what do
heard
you
things.
what do y'all want? What do y'all want to be the ending? Like, not saying the ending of Diddy, but like the happy ending of this whole saga. Like, What would you guys like to see with this?
Respectfully, I think it would be more reform towards the industry. Like, I think it would be like better
You
for
sound
more
muffled, Emmanuel.
You're muzzled. You're
I think
muzzled,
you,
babe.
yeah. Okay.
reform
Now
towards
you're
the
mute.
industry.
Can I use
Am I
the
mute?
restroom real quick? It's gonna take 2 seconds. I
Can you
promise.
hear
Yeah.
me
That's
now?
all I'm gonna
Now
do.
you're mute. Okay.
Yeah, I
Can you
can
hear me
hear
now?
you. Go ahead. Go
I say
ahead.
like I think my biggest fear is like the whole industry is basically like this. Like, if Diddy's not the only sole person that's probably
Mm-hmm.
like this, and that's the scary thing. Is like, I think is like for more people to be informed on stuff like this and to like be aware, because you got to be careful what you're getting yourself into and what you wish for in the industry, and
Mm-hmm.
also if you see somebody habitually stepping your lines, if you're gonna get into an industry where you're literally a performer and you are the mode of like monetization, set your boundaries and be so well informed on yourself and understand what you can and can't do that you don't let yourself be taken advantage of. I mean,
Yeah.
outside of that, hey, if you into that stuff, hey, have fun. Like I
That's what I'm
can't
saying.
stop
I'm
you.
like, if you like it, hey, bro, like then there's really nothing that we can talk about. Cause I really would say, like, after learning a lot of information, I was like, Diddy was really freaked out. Like he really was running around here acting crazy. But I think the abuse and the way that he was manipulating people and the control, I feel like that's what a lot of people are hyper fixated on, because you could have still done that. Like you could have explored whatever you wanted to explore, sexually, relationally, whatever the case may be. But the fact that you were exploiting, manipulating, abusing, assaulting people in order to have your way is what I'm like, with all that money, power, and control, did you really have to do all of that to get what you wanted? That's what's concerning. So
Exactly. I
I
think
don't
that
know. I,
aspect of
I
him, he
don't.
he got off on power too much to the point where he didn't pay what he needed to pay. Because if he would have just paid everybody the way that
Bro,
he did,
no one would have
nobody would
this
have this
we
conversation.
wouldn't be sitting here on this live right now. No one would have said a peep. You remember that girl, Kalina was like, I asked him for 5K for my child support. Kalina wouldn't have been on the documentary if she got that 5K. If
Nope.
he would have, I'm sorry, it's the devil's advocate, but if he would have paid people,
And
we
that's a
would have not
problem.
even probably
And
had this
that's a
opportunity.
problem. And that's a
They would have been
problem.
quiet. They
Yeah,
wouldn't
and
have
that's a
said,
problem. You can be quiet because you got what you wanted, right?
yeah. If
And
Cassie
that's
would have got her 10 album deal, would we have heard anything from Cassie?
But that's my point. Is like Diddy knew who to
maybe.
play with because he knew the people that were willing to sell themselves for the money. Like, it
And
is
then
what it
they
is.
didn't pay him. So I don't know, but Diddy, I don't know. He's gonna continue to be a villain in my eyes. There's nothing good that anyone can try to like.
Cray 62 says Sarah came on with some smoke. And that's the problem. I was
Literally,
hearing everything and I was like,
just
I
came
was
in and said,
heated.
mm-hmm.
But that's what he went to jail for, was prostitution and
Yeah.
Yeah.
sex,
Do
paying
you
Yeah.
guys
sex.
think that there's gonna be more cases open on him in the like
Yeah.
Well, he
2026?
has like, didn't he have like 80 pending
Well,
lawsuits or whatever?
the lawsuit itself can bankrupt somebody. That's what they said. Because
Yeah.
like if you
Didn't
have
he have
to
like
fight
7 to 8 lawyers?
yeah, if you have to fight all those lawsuits, like that can bankrupt you, even like the wealthiest person. Nazora also said, off topic, but I remember when Kim Porter passed away, Diddy got a lot of backlash for not being around to comfort his twin daughters. They lived in the LA house while he stayed in Miami. I
Yeah.
remember that whole
Someone
situation.
had
They were,
mentioned that one of the guys that was around Diddy like early in the 90s mentioned how like you would never know how his kids feel because they feel
mm.
like they can't say anything. They can't he got
Jeremy,
them kids wrapped around his finger too.
Jeremy
Which,
said y'all always uplift non-black women like Cassie. Only pitch black woman is beautiful. Wait, what?
yikes.
You gotta watch out. He's
Well,
trolling 90% of the time.
Jeremy.
You gotta know that.
So how do you come? You said y'all only uplift non-black women like Cassie. Only pitch black woman is beautiful. What? That's contradictory because Cassie is not pitch black. I don't
No,
know.
no, he's saying only pitch black women are beautiful. And don't let him troll you into reading
Oh,
his
I see
comments.
what he's saying. Oh, gotcha. I don't
Also,
no. Okay, but listen, Jeremy always be speaking a little bit of truth because the I feel like the only reason why people are paying attention, part of the reason why people are paying attention is because it's Cassie. let it have been the dark skinned girl from Danity Kane, where people have been listening. I know that people didn't listen to Cassie as well, so
Are
it's like a
you talking about
sexism.
Dawn? Her name was Dawn.
Yeah, I know, but I have to make it a point like dark skin. But yeah, Dawn from Danity Kane. Like people are not paying attention to her grievances too. And I talked about this earlier too, like how he was like, I never did anything to her. But I do feel like colorism, if you're talking about colorism, I do think that plays a role into it too. How people view victims. So maybe we could talk about that another time, but I do think that's real. So even though he Jeremy be trolling sometimes there's a little bit of truth to what he's saying. Cause Cassie broke the camel's back. Like there was a girl who Diddy allegedly shot in the face from the
Mm-hmm.
90s.
Back
Oh
in the
yeah,
day.
that
But
was
no
the
one
Shine
had as
incident.
much. I don't think no one had as much like celebrity status as Cassie. When you think
That's
about his
true.
victims, like Dawn, even though we know Dawn from Danny Kane, she wasn't as big as Cassie. Who else?
Why
Even like
wasn't she? Why
Aubrey.
she's more talented. Why is she not big as Cassie?
Well,
Yeah,
because
a lot of people.
remember what the band was called? It was called Diddy Dirty Money, and she was
No, she
in
was part of
Danity
Danity
Kane.
Kane. She was part of
Yeah,
Danity Kane.
so like nobody was paying attention to her when the main
Nobody paid
face was
attention to
somebody
Danity
else.
Kane. Danity Kane sold like I think they sold 300,000 in one
No,
Yeah,
day.
he's been.
But Aubrey O'Day was the main girl.
But when you look at the timeline, the reason why Diddy Dirty Money was created is because he kicked Aubrey out because Aubrey wasn't trying to have sexual relations with him. Well, she
Yeah.
ended up allegedly like
Yeah,
having them without her knowledge. But I think Cassie, the reason why I could understand why people are rallying behind the energy of her lawsuit coming out is because she had the most celebrity status out of
And
everyone.
she was
Probably
the
had the most merit.
closest proximity.
she was the
Exactly.
only one that publicly we knew that Diddy trusted. So
Hmm.
if her saying that he abused her, everybody was like, wait a minute, that's literally the girl that's always been next to him.
Like,
Wow, he
imagine if
didn't.
Big was still alive. I would believe anything Big said.
Like,
I'd be like, yup, and he did it. Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
you know what the sad part about it is? The way he spoke about Big being his like only friend and et cetera, and to still low key
I just
kind
saw
of
him on
do
camera.
your friend posthumously dirty like that is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. I'm sorry. That gave like devil because how could you even be happy after your best friend dies? What?
I remember
Gets
somebody said
murdered.
it's Erica Kirk, and I started dying laughing.
Not Erica Kirk. Oh, they on her ass too. The white people on her ass. That's why I'm like, you
I
can't
mean,
really say that white people don't be on their ass because white people on Erica Kirk ask for how she's dealing with the death
yeah,
of her
cause
husband.
you imagine
They
if Diddy
dragging
had
her
gotten.
so bad. I'm
What is she
like,
doing? I'm not on that side of
she's on a
social
press
media.
tour.
She's on a press
About
tour
what?
about her husband
You got
being,
a book?
her husband was just in the neck.
Obviously,
No,
we saw him.
no, Emmanuel, we saw
We
the video
saw
on
it.
the
We
group
saw
chat.
it.
We were
We
all
were
there
there.
when it happened. That's not funny. We're not
Lit-
laughing at it.
we were there
We
essentially.
were
Sorry,
there.
I'm not trying to put you out.
Before I got the Apple News notification, I saw it.
Hmm.
But what is she on the press tour about?
You know,
Well,
I
I
mean, we
guess
don't
she's
have to get
like
in like
I
on
guess
this.
she no
I
I guess
about it
she's
on this
no
platform.
I guess she's doing PR for her husband's
company.
company, which
Yeah,
is the what is it called, TPU something, where they go around colleges making them
So
more
she's
conservative.
stepping into his role of what he was doing
Yes,
for
I
a long
don't remember
time.
the name of this company. I'm not trying to be
the problem
disrespectful.
is she's not charismatic enough like Diddy is. Diddy's very charismatic, like to the point
She's
where
well,
like,
she not that she's not even charismatic.
and he came out
I
with a hit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
What hit?
I'll be missing you.
That wasn't his. That's not Diddy. The
I'm
reason why
sorry.
we talked about it earlier in the live. The reason why we like that song is because of Faith Evans.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
we
sorry.
do. But
you
like,
only remember the hook.
Diddy
You
is
don't
not
remember what Diddy was
charismatic to
saying.
me. Diddy is not charismatic
because
to
you
me.
see it now, he's goofy. But back in the day, ain't nobody really see it like that. They were just like, damn, did he really be making that money?
Oh,
And he
Turning
like,
Point. Turning Point USA that's the name of
Oh,
Charlie
okay.
Kirk's
I guess that was
organization that
Diddy's
he's
turning
working with.
point. moment.
Yeah. And so she's supposed to be doing like a press tour, like, pretty much making her company, like making her husband's legacy look good. But I guess people are not seeing it that way. They're looking at it like,
Yeah, because it hasn't even been like, is it even 3 months? This happened
No,
this year.
no.
I
yeah,
swear I got that like 2 months ago.
yeah, people are
Like,
like
let's get to the
criticizing
kid.
everything. And I guess it's not looking good for them. Like it's just they don't like
No.
it.
She should have hit Kid Rock up and like made like a song. That shit would have been fire.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's
I'm
what I said.
sorry.
A book. I mean, maybe if we had like a book tour, I would understand that. Like maybe like the life of such and such, or like trying to let his legacy live on, and she's going to go do interviews, talk about how amazing, like that. That's what I think. Like wifey, first
But
lady.
did y'all see her reaction to Candace Owens? Like she was on like an interview, and the Candace Owens is like trying to investigate what happened to Charlie Kirk because that was her best
Mhm.
friend. So there's this controversy because that's his wife. His wife and Candace Owens, they kind of have they're on two different positions on like what happened.
So they're not
She
like friends. Isn't
well,
that that's her
I
best
think
friend?
Candace Owens is on this conspiracy. Like I don't know, but she's on this conspiracy route. Some people say where it's like she's thinking maybe Turning Point was the one who killed Charlie Kirk, or
Well, not turning point. She said Israel is
Israel, or
probably
like
yeah.
whatever. Like who the people that were on his side are the one who killed him, and the wife is like on this side of the company. Like she has to represent the company, and so they're kind of on two opposing sides, and so an interviewer asked about Candace Owens to the wife, and
Mm.
the way her facial expression
Oh
changed
wow.
was so scary. Baby, I was like, Candace, you might need to like let go of this conversation because that woman is doing voodoo on you.
Jeremy said that. He said Erica Kirk looked like the devil. She got demonic.
I mean, somebody
No,
pointed
It's
out
so
that
crazy. You just said that.
the way that her eyes changed, like she was laughing and stuff, and then the lady talked about Candace Owens and her
How did
face,
we get here, guys? Wait.
I was talking about how Diddy was dancing like Erica Kirk.
oh yeah, yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, how did we even get here? But I
Without the
know,
leather pants.
Yeah.
child.
White leather is crazy work. Like I just want to know how you get white leather, my brother. Like,
So why people be doing the same shit? They be doing the same press tours and stuff.
Mm.
you know what I'm saying?
Where's our good
Hey,
sis Christine? Are you? Can you hear
I feel like
us?
Christina's trying to say something, but she's not.
Are you
No, I
charging
can
your
hear
phone?
y'all, but my phone, yeah, my phone, the more, I think StreamYard is killing my battery. So the more I'm charging, it's like going 10, 9. It's like not.
Okay.
maybe this is
Well,
the
we
end
missed
after
your
2 hours.
input.
No, I had to
Yeah.
take the camera off to get to the port to be able to charge it.
Okay. Is there anything
Um,
y'all want to add? I mean,
is there anything else
we're
I
on here
want to
for
talk
two
about?
hours. I think we
Yeah.
covered a lot of stuff regarding this documentary.
Y'all be careful, man. Like, that's it.
Everybody be careful. That's all I gotta say. Do you have any final, like, anything that you want to add, Janet?
Morale, I'm sorry to go against you, Jeremy, is not subjective. Okay. Y'all stand your ground. Okay. Stop being weak in the knees. Get up. Okay. Like have you create whatever you feel like is good character and good moral for yourself and be able to live with yourself, have peace in your life because anything that you have to sacrifice yourself, your soul, or whatever the case may be, in order to feel like you have to, receive monetary value is not worth it. Peace triumphs all of that and is priceless. And being able to sleep at night and look yourself in the mirror and be proud of yourself triumphs all of that. So it's not about the riches and the glories. You can get that in this life, but you also have your boundaries, have your self respect, love yourself, value yourself, and go into the world as that, and things will come your way. You will be fine. Trust me, you will be okay. So that's my final thoughts and takes.
I love that. I love that. And
Mhm.
also, Jeremy said, Emmanuel, I don't appreciate you saying I'm trolling. All my comments are constructive and made sense.
In other words, you got to tell the billionaires no. You know, just know that. You got to tell them
Will.
no. No matter how much money they got in your face, tell them no.
Nope. It ain't worth
Mm.
ain't enough money in the world, bro. You shouldn't have a price to where you can be bought.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Ain't
You
look.
know, and like honestly, I hate to be the side of like, the contrarian side, but I agree. I'm kind of agreeing with Jeremy again because morality is subjective. That's why they have philosophers. They had philosophers to kind of build guardrails and build like what is right and what is wrong because we can't be going off of y'all individual mother effers. We have to really build like a common consensus of like what's good, what's bad, what's right, and what's wrong. So he is also right with that. Jeremy,
Hey,
don't
first
come
off,
for me
we
today.
know exactly what's
Jeremy,
right or
come for
wrong.
me
Sarah,
Let's
another
let's
day.
stop
Wayne
that.
was up here
Jeremy, don't come for
crazy.
me.
Yeah.
Don't come for
His
me
didn't
today.
what was the earlier comment when they said, "Would you be Diddy for a million?"
Yeah, that's
Sarah?
crazy work.
No, but
Sarah?
okay, but Jeremy was the one coming for me. Jeremy was the one who was saying that shit. So
Here's the thing, you
anyway,
gotta when you
Christine,
say
where you
morality is
at, bro?
subjective,
I'm listening. I'm here.
listen,
We
somebody got to do it.
Sarah,
Somebody got to do it.
that's crazy work.
Sarah. Look,
Jeremy said, Sarah, I like you. Maybe
nah,
for today,
see, that's the
but
thing.
tomorrow, but
That's
on
the
Tuesday,
problem.
you might not like me, and that's okay too. I'm good with that. But I'm on your side
Well,
today.
let me live in
I'm
my
on your
little
side today.
Delulu world of peace and pop. Look, live, laugh, love over here,
I don't
okay?
know.
Let
I
me live
don't
over
know if
here in
it's this
that Delulu
wine.
world.
I don't know if it's this wine, but something is making me somewhat agree with Jeremy. Like something's pulling me to the ideas.
Hopefully you
Not
didn't
fully.
take the
Not
pink
fully.
stuff that Diddy had in his.
What
Not
was it?
that pink shit.
MDMA or like what?
Yeah,
Chow?
they call it
Listen,
pink
I don't
cocaine. I
do.
said, oh no.
Mm-mm.
Sarah, look. Let me add you to my
Only
prayer
today.
list.
Only today. Only today, Jeremy. I don't know how you gonna feel about me tomorrow on Tuesday, but today I kind of feel you because he's kind of anti colonialism, anti like the status quo where I'm feeling today. Today, only today.
He's the Dr. Umar of the group chat. And
He
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
really
ask
yeah,
is. And we
Jeremy,
respect it, Jeremy.
yeah,
We really mess
yeah.
with you, bro. Like for
Today.
where's the school, Jeremy? Where's the goddamn school?
real.
Where is the school? Where is the school? But
You good
I
people.
kind of
You good. Everyone, thank you for everyone
no,
commenting.
but
This is a
he
this is
is
a
he
conversation.
is a little he is a little extreme, but there's a little bit of truth to what he's saying, so I can't dismiss it all. I just
Yeah,
can't do it today. Like I really can't. Especially there's something that he said today that I felt. Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me find it. Let me find it. There's something that I really felt. There's something that I really felt. Hold
who
on.
is this Sarah? What has gotten into you, girl?
I don't know. I'm feeling real like.
This is about to
Feeling
turn
real
into a
radical
3 hour live right
today.
now.
Real
This is what's about to happen.
revolutionary.
But there was something that he said that I really felt, and I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I didn't feel it.
That's
But
fair. That's
yeah,
fair.
but I don't. I gotta find
That's
it, but I don't remember. But yeah, I'm sorry.
that's
I
what
don't
I'm
agree with
talking about.
everything, but
Draw the boat, bro. Cause
like y'all was. I mean, he's a little extreme, but sometimes when you extreme, the truth is in the middle. Like the truth is somewhere, and then I'm like, fine. He's
so
kind of
you were
right.
leaning towards it today. You were just more towards the truth.
There were some things that he said was making fucking sense. I'm not gonna hold you at all.
Amen. Amen.
If we look back into this episode, I will we will find out. But there were some things that he was saying that I was like,
Right on.
yeah. I'm trying to
That's
look
fair.
for it right now because like there are some things that are true. I'm not even playing. Like I'm dead ass.
So you want this live to be 3 hours?
I know. I'm like,
I'm sorry. No, no. We
is
gotta
there
go. We
any?
gotta go. No, we gotta go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. But I was trying to be because I was trying to like tell y'all what I was feeling.
No,
But
we here with you. I'm so here
yeah.
with you. I'm here. But I think that's all my takes on Diddy. I haven't gotten it out. Like I early in the episode, like me and Christine, we had already debriefed for our 3 hours and then did the podcast, did the live. I
Hmm.
feel like we have really talked about this. What? Your face.
Y'all went for 10 hours? God damn.
No, we talked. No, 3 hours. It was 3 hours. Me and Christine
Yeah,
talked
it
about
was
the topic.
3.
But I think that
No, I'm talking about in total. So you did 3 hours with Christine, 3 more hours with Lady
Here.
Sosa.
Then
no,
this
it was only
video.
45 minutes for the episode.
The episode was
Every
45 minutes.
hour, and then we have 2 hours now. First of all, this was a great topic, and I felt very inclined to like add some input to it.
This is
Okay,
history.
Don't worry
We're
about me,
gonna look
Emmanuel. I'll
back.
go ghost. I don't got nothing else to talk about for the rest of the year.
Christine, what do you have to like close this?
Honestly, I mean, Janet said it all earlier. Just make sure you can look yourself in the mirror. And
That's it, bro.
that's it.
You
On
decide.
every decision you make, just make sure when you by yourself at home,
Yeah.
when
I
you
mean,
sit with yourself, you can be comfortable with it.
Jeremy, I don't remember the comment, so I can't paraphrase it. I want to remember it, but I feel like for the most part, you were kind of like you were framing everything to Jeremy's point. Jeremy was framing everything like he was challenging everything. He was being the tyrant of the episode, where he's like, okay, you guys are talking about Diddy, but like, what about the greater scheme of like there's
Capitalism and
capitalism,
patriarchy in the system.
patriarchy,
Yeah.
and how not only black people are affected by this, but white people have also been affected. But do we talk about that? And also, we don't
Mhm.
have to agree with that, but it's just like, just remember keeping that in the back of our head, and challenging those type of theories. Shauna said, "Hey y'all, Emmanuel room tour." Oh, Emmanuel, you about to do a room tour?
Shauna. Hey.
Absolutely not.
Well, when we're right, okay, hold on, let me see the
Absolutely
back.
not, Miss Posey.
Not Emmanuel, what not?
I mean, said absolutely not.
No. I keep the internet stuff is the internet stuff. People get to see me there. You're not seeing my life.
Oh, you're not a vlogger. You're not a lifestyle blogger.
LOS,
No day in the life.
I'm a comedian.
No day in the
LOS
life.
homes, LOS cribs one
Yeah,
day.
okay, y'all
Right.
will see my blog in about a month whenever I'm in Minnesota dying of like hunger.
No, we're proud of you for your new adventure.
Shauna said, but yeah, why is there people defending Diddy? Ha, misogyny. That's all I can tell you. The same way there's people I can go in on for a long time about
It's
this.
because they are also abusers, and I think we have to have this conversation about how a lot of people in Hollywood were like, "Oh my God, damn, I be doing that
Did
shit.
it?
So why am I in trouble?"
No. It brought to light the Indian juror to me. I don't know. We didn't talk about the jurors a lot in our conversation, but I'm sorry, light bulb just went off when how he was talking about the situation with Diddy and Cassie, and he was like, it takes two people to clap. And he was basically saying, like, you can't have this type of life and then not like expect to deal with whatever the case may be. And I was like, you probably be on a smaller scale. You're not Diddy, but on a smaller scale, allegedly, my point of view, you might be doing same thing Diddy was doing to your wife or your girlfriend or whatever.
Harry. No, I feel like abusers defend Diddy. People who don't like people who want to keep the status quo, because I do think that there's gonna have to be a little shakeup. All right, Tarek said Janet didn't watch the
No,
documentary twice.
Tarek, I've only watched it once. I'm crying.
Wait, why? Why would he say that
Also,
though?
can we point out the two jurors?
My jaw was dropped. I would like pause it and be like, I know, like. So I think I was able to conceptualize it so much to where I really remember everything that happened in the documentary. But
I remember a lot of things that stood out to me, but
boy,
I do
when
remember
he said
that.
it takes two people to clap, and he did the notion. I was like, bruh.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I hated that it was great comedic timing on both of the jurors because both jurors were pieces of shit. By the way that they were reacting, because when she said, "Oh, it was what's called story," that she was like, "Can you believe this?" I said,
"What did she say?" She saw Diddy do the he like nodded or something.
Mm-hmm.
What like a gesture that he made.
Oh yeah, he was nodding everybody.
Gesture.
And she was like, it basically was like her saying, he did the thing that was on TV that one time when I was younger and I used to
Yeah,
like it.
She was like, I did the same thing when he did that. I said, so now y'all have
The
commonality. Is
connection.
that what it is?
She liked that nigga instantly. And I
Yeah,
said,
she said,
But
oh yeah,
but
we peeping.
my question is, how was she allowed to be a juror? If she knew Diddy from watching TV, you that is like
she
they're good.
probably lied. She probably lied, number one.
Well,
And
then
number
that's
two,
crazy
with
because
jurors, you gotta think
she
about
should
it.
have
They might
never
have
been a juror.
ulterior motives. She might have had an ulterior motive whenever she
Now she
got
on a
her name.
doc. Now she on Netflix.
If she recognized Diddy from back in the day, if she had any idea who Diddy was, she shouldn't have been a juror at all because that's bias. Period. Whether good or bad.
Everybody will be everybody.
Whether good or
But
bad.
the Indian guy tried to make it seem like, oh, I don't listen to I don't know hip hop, I don't know da 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 da. But that's what made him stick out to me. Oh, girl, to me, she gave fan energy. That's what I got from her.
You
But
shouldn't be a
from the
juror if
Indian
you even
juror,
know who Diddy is.
Indian dude
he
saw
made it
himself in
clear
Diddy.
that he did not know who Diddy was per se. And when he was explaining that dynamic of like the Cassie situation, that's what really like raised my eyebrows because he was so defendant on Diddy not quote unquote being a bad guy. And they mentioned that they were like, well, he wasn't on trial for being a bad guy. It was like, did he do these XYZ crimes? Can we find him guilty of these? And I was like, okay, cool. If y'all have that intention going in, that y'all don't care what he did, it's only what you can prove right in court. I'm pretty sure Diddy knew that, and that's why he swayed the TikTokers, social media, all the people to be more on his side. So,
And I think that's why you have to have that conversation about like, is the internet more detrimental to some victims than anything else? Because if they can be swayed and you can create media storms like he said he did, because he was so manipulative and good at that, how would that work for anybody else? And I also will always die on the hill that if somebody is famous, we should not know about their trials or what they call until after it has been confirmed and we've
I
seen
agree.
like the actual situation. Because
I
when the
appreciate it.
media storm happens, a lot of the times these victims get like washed away and
Yeah.
No,
they don't
I
have the time to
agree.
be ready.
I agree. I agree.
I
I
think,
think
but I think
like
in our society right now, like the Diddy trial is probably the most like prominently broadcasted trial via social media. Because even the Megan and Tory trial, like that was posted on social media, but not as much as people giving really deep dive reviews of what they saw in court and interviews with people and like being at the courthouse day in day out. Like we really saw this play out through social
but
media.
the Diddy and trial and the Megan Thee Stallion trial have a lot of similarities. Like
Mm.
I think the difference is though.
Even Tory Lanez's sentence, like the reason why he got a 10-year sentence was partly because of his antics on social media.
Mm.
His his attempt to try to sway the public, to smear the victim,
But do you
to
think because Diddy had a more, I guess, strategic plan in how he did that? Like he was really quiet on social media. We haven't heard it really too much from Diddy. Do you
yeah.
think
Diddy was
because he
smarter
wasn't
because
so
let me
like,
put it like this: Tory was an idiot.
yeah,
Like,
going
and
live, making albums, come on, bro, shut up.
this nigga,
He said she wasn't even shot. Like he was
like
like in his album, he said she wasn't shot. Like how you
Now
shot with
who's
no bones
shouting?
and tendons hit? Like he smeared her and made her
Tory.
look like a crazy woman, like who lied about being shot. And then for them to go to court, and then it was like, oh, she was shot.
There's a difference between. I think the campaign was different because like Diddy, his campaign was done through other people and through his legal team and through allowing the public to see every detail of it and talking to these specific TikTokers. When it came to Tory, Tory wasn't even smart enough to ever do that. Tory was literally one of the dumbest
Tory
criminals
doesn't
you'll
have
ever
Nigga
see.
enough
went
money.
live.
Tory doesn't
Like
have enough
he's
Live,
an
money.
idiot.
bro.
Tory
There's a
doesn't have
difference
enough
between the two.
money.
There's a reason why one person is a billionaire, the other one isn't, and
Well,
that's me and them being
Tory didn't
strategic.
have enough money. If Tory had Diddy's money, he'd probably be more detrimental.
Because think about this. Diddy still got away. Even remember when we were talking about earlier how Diddy became originally famous was that situation with all those people, 9 people,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that he played that, you could tell the difference between a Tory and a Diddy, and it's charisma. Like even though Tory might be a little charismatic, it's not compared to Diddy.
But I think
And
the
this is where it
difference
gets to
with
that
the
point.
Tory situation was that Meg initially lied for him.
For
Like
him.
she sought out to protect him. And it wasn't until social media started asking questions, he fell into that bait of like, Nah, bro, people starting to talk. But honestly, that probably would have been swept under the rug. The way that media moves so fast, we cared, but we were in the middle of a pandemic, guys. We had
Mhm.
other things to worry about.
Yeah,
Survival.
yeah.
He could have just shut his
But
fucking
this,
mouth,
I
and
but
it
this
probably
is,
would have went.
but this is
everyone went
how
quiet. We would have been like, you remember that time
but this is
Megan
how this
allegedly
is
got
how misogyny plays its part. Like Megan lied about sleeping with him. Tori lied about assaulting August Alsina. Is that not closer to the case than Megan sleeping with Tori? But people held on to Megan sleeping with Tori more than they held on to him lying about assaulting August Alsina. If he lied about assaulting August Alsina, could he not lie about assaulting Megan the Stallion?
I think a lot of people, and we have our conversations about this, but I think
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
people were really like, because she was so, oh, I stepped on glass, I stepped on glass. And I know we're kind of pivoting from our Diddy thing, so
Oh
I don't
yeah,
want
but
to
it's
go
still
too
the
long,
same
but
thing.
it's a matter of like, she was coming out the gate being like, I didn't get shot. This is what happened, XYZ.
But
Like,
after the fact that
and
she
then it
was
turned,
shot,
yeah. And that's
like
why I say, that's why I think, go to Emmanuel's point, Tori dropped the ball because you kept talking to where people are now interested. This was
yeah,
more a social media thing than it was a law thing, because
yeah.
the law wasn't involved for a while until it became a topic to talk about on social media. Then people were trying to figure out, well, what really happened? And then once
And
people started uncovering what really happened, and then Meg was like, oh, by the way, we did have
but
relations.
they took his side.
They
Just as they take
a
just
lot
as
of
they
people,
take other like just like that they took R. Kelly's side, just as they took Diddy's side. People will smear the victim. I think that's my point. It's like they
yeah,
will
of course,
they will
especially
smear the
man
victim
situation.
before they take the victim's side, because at the end of the day, like that's my point. Was like, yeah, Megan lied, but Tory lied too. Like, so
And
whose lie is bigger?
but I
But
do think
they
in
made Megan's lie bigger for
I think in
whatever
the sense
reason.
of it though, like I would say Megan has gotten, and that's why I feel like you mentioned this earlier in the live, Emmanuel, about like when shit happens, you have to say something. Because if you don't, the way that the narrative is already built around you to not support you, it's going to make it harder. And I would say Megan is one of the few people that we've seen in this celebrity status right now in this era to get justice the way that she did immediately too. Because also a lot of people rallied behind her, but you see a lot of people don't have
Who
that
rallied
support.
her?
Yeah, but the thing about it is just, I think a lot of people were like, okay, girl, you need to send that
Nobody
to the
rallied
room.
behind her.
Boy,
I think
Tori
you have
would
to
have
understand that,
canceled
like,
the next day.
yeah, I think she did get like Gail Kim, and she did get like after he was guilty, like Meg, everybody was like, okay, now everybody shut the fuck up about Tory being innocent
Yeah,
because
no
you
one even
clearly
talks
see
about
that.
him anymore.
Yeah, like nobody even gives
Nobody
relevancy. And
rallied behind her though.
Meg is bigger than ever, but I do think she still gets backlash. But it's like she has a bigger fan base than she did before the situation. So like I
Yeah,
think
for sure.
Meg came out that thing on top.
Yeah, yeah. But I think also with
I
that,
don't think
yeah, you
people
have to speak
rallied
about it.
behind her. Like I don't think that there was a
And
and
that's my
that's my
problem
whole point.
when it
That's my
comes
whole
to
point about
trials.
like black women being victims. I don't think people rally behind us.
And
So
that's
I
my
don't.
biggest problem. I think with trials, you have to wait until the trial is over, and I think people,
And get the facts.
yeah, they get too strung up on stuff, and I'm just like, just wait till it's over, and when you find out who actually did the thing and what the truth is, now you can be like, all right, he's a piece of shit, and get them the fuck out of here.
Do you
Or
guys feel like there should be something in place around
Jeremy, thank you,
social
Jeremy.
media
Jeremy
and law?
said, "Hell no, black men super trolled Megan." Yes, and they did, and they
Yeah.
still do.
I have a theory about it being it was black men were crucial in it, especially to social media dudes. But I also do think that like Indian and like what's called it was so social media viral that there were other aspects of it that were being pushed into it, and I think there was other red pill narratives that were
The
pushed
Megan
against it.
Tory?
What the hell? What
Yes,
the hell?
Oh,
Indian
because
people
it
got to
really
do with it?
became super weirdly like a male versus female thing, and I was just looking at it. And I was
It
like, "What
was
is
gender. It was gender war
it
thing.
became a
Yeah,
gender war topic, and I was like, "This is nasty." Because like once it becomes a gender war topic, you can't look at any person with objective truth. You just got to be like, "What are the
but that's
facts?"
the same thing. But that's the same thing with like Diddy versus Cassie or Cassie versus Diddy
I think
or
the Diddy
and
situation though is a lot of men were like looking at Diddy left ways anyway. They're always like Diddy's always weird. He always likes to party. The
Yeah,
narrative was
people
already around Diddy.
they've already started side eyeing
Yeah,
him.
they were already
no,
starting
I
to see
mean
it.
I'm already seeing posts like free Diddy. I'm seeing
He
horrible
probably,
things. Like
yeah, probably paid them.
the
We
same
gotta fix your
narratives.
algorithm, my nigga.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you watching, girl? Who is on Diddy's side on your algorithm?
Whoa.
The same people. Like the academics are on Diddy's side.
Oh,
Academics
That
posted.
that you got. That's all you got to say. That's all you
Yeah,
got to say.
yeah, I
he
know. But
got a he got a weird case himself. What are we talking about here?
academics said the worst woman you could find is Cassie, Megan the Stallion, and Halle Bailey.
Yeah, all three
I said
women he could never pull if
I
he
said
ever
there's
tried.
an attack on black women then, if that's
No, if
what you're
he ever
saying.
tried in his life, he would never even have the chance to be in the room with them.
I think you'll have to understand that like academics is whole profile and like that whole red pill side of things. You can clearly see where they're gonna go with every single narrative, and that's why I tell people do not engage. Don't engage because when you have them in your head and you engage with their specific brand of misogyny and like work, you get to realizing it's for teenage boys and it's for young
Yeah,
men
it has
who
no
aren't.
substance.
Yeah,
But
you just
I
gotta
but
let
I
it be what
also
it is.
don't I also don't like how y'all like minimize what he's doing to like teenage boys and incels because he's influencing young boys. And
He
that's a
influences
problem.
to a certain extent, but once you
No,
get to a
no,
certain age,
he's influencing young boys. Maybe not your age, but he's in if you have a son, your son might
I
watch DJ
you
Academics.
gotta think about it. I
Like that's
grew
what I'm
up with DJ
saying.
Academics, and then there's a certain
Or
point in
they
time
might
where you
or they
realize,
might watch a someone who is the prodigy of DJ Academics. That's
but
the
that's always
problem.
it's always gonna be there. People are weird.
Yeah, but that's
You
again, you
just
have
have
to
to
know,
raise your
like,
sons right. Like I
you
always tell
again,
people
it
this.
go look, the through line through this live is
Yeah, I
moral
love I love
character.
through.
The through line, look, it's just there. It's invisible, but it's a through line. It's
Hmm.
having character, morale, being raised right,
Right.
understanding the key things. So I think that's what we're able to do when we navigate social media. It's not because of the content that we've intaked and we've like deciphered it. It's just who we are as people outside of social media. So when we enter into this portal of content on these apps, we're able to be like, that's BS. Okay, that has some truth to it. I can relate to this person. You're able to navigate it that way. But if you don't have that in the real world, then
Yeah.
yes, you're going to be easily subjective to, oh, okay, so I'm supposed to do this to women and I'm supposed to act like this in order to feel, yeah, of course. You don't have nobody in your real life trying to lead you and tell you not even necessarily right from wrong, but just give you a foundation of how to really
Yeah.
show up in this world.
Yeah.
Everybody knows lames with money, and like at the end of the day, you gotta stay away from specific people when that's all they
Bro,
have to
you got to
offer.
feel the energy. You got to
Like,
be like,
come on.
mm-mm. The energy will tell it all, bro. I don't care how much money nobody got. The
You
energy will tell you. The energy
they'll
will
say
tell
some
you.
shit and they'll slip up. You be like, oh, you one of
Uh,
them. Okay.
I'm not
oh,
seeing it.
brother.
I'm not
This
seeing
guy.
people standing up to the lames with money. I'm not seeing it, but okay. Have fun with it.
I always say
I'm not seeing it.
you can't engage the internet because a lot of these people don't even be believing what they say.
I
No.
get it. I get it.
It's
Grifters.
escapism. A lot of it is escapism.
Yeah. We'll
The,
So
talk
the
about
problem
that.
you
is
really have to touch grass in real life, have other hobbies, have other interests that are not like solely tied to this, virtual world of connectivity, have real friends, do things that involve human interaction because you can get lost into these like ideologies and movements that people are creating virtually that don't apply to real life. So just have a sense of self. Again, the through line through this live is morale and character.
Hmm.
Know yourself. Know,
Yes. I love that.
have
Know yourself
boundaries. Know what you're going to stand for and know what you're not.
and raise your kids right to where they're not watching that bullshit ass content.
Amen.
I mean,
I would
raise
hate for
your
my
grown
I
self
would
right.
hate for my son to watch like negative woman content, and I would hate for my daughter to watch negative men content.
Yeah. It's just
because
not, it's not.
that's not conducive to a healthy environment.
And to add on to that, next week's episode, what are we talking about, Sarah?
Next week's episode, we are debunking the negative ideas and propaganda towards gender. So essentially, I feel like gender wars, and especially in the Black community, are
Mm-hmm.
created by like misinformation, disinformation. So we have a whole episode based off of like kind of not really debunking, but like reframing the conversation where we are not buying into gender wars in our black community and black society.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got to
Yeah.
watch
I
out.
So
love that.
y'all gonna love that one. I hope you guys
I
like
think
that
that's
one.
good. I think that's a good way to like end that, but also let y'all know what we're talking about, with the intention behind conversations moving forward. You know, like it's not about man versus woman
Division.
and who's doing this, who's doing that, and like XYZ. It's just trying to find ways to continue to collaborate and then also grow as a community and uplift each other,
Yeah.
because we all need each other in some way and
Yeah.
facet.
Because
So
there has been some times where misinformation won.
yeah. And we're
You
sitting up here
know,
arguing and
we
it's
are sitting
like,
over arguing.
"Hey,
It's like
right."
that's not even the truth.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
was a whole like lie. It was manufactured. It wasn't even like factually brought in, like like we just didn't like take in the information factually, and so we came
Mhm.
up with our own ideas, and then we're arguing about it. That's crazy.
You have to be
Or it's
careful when
trending, and we just,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of our information is from social media. So if we see a lot
Girl,
of people talking about it and it's, different people having their inputs on it, then we start to believing that that's true. But we don't even
just
have the
because just because
capacity.
something is viral doesn't
Yeah.
mean that it's true.
Yeah.
when
And
it
I
starts to
think
feel
that's
a
the
little
thing.
too good and they start to sound like it's on your side a little too much, maybe do a little bit of research and
Oh
you'll
yeah,
figure
for
it out. You know?
sure. You'd be like,
Yeah.
this FYP might be a little
and
too curated.
and we'll talk about this another time because I know we're going over the time, but like yeah, and sometimes the misinformation a little bit slight. It's just a little bit like,
Mm-hmm.
and so like you just have to be careful of like what you're taking in because it's meant to make you believe a certain narrative. I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. But I would stand 10 toes to wrap this up with this Diddy live.
Mm-hmm.
I would keep for myself my intention. You're not going to change my perspective on Diddy. That man is a bad man. And I feel that way.
I witnessed that man beat that woman, and then in that one
Yeah.
video where he gets into the studio and she flinches the way she does, and she tries to play it off as like fun. I said, yeah. You
Yeah.
got it.
We're just, I'm gonna lead as one of the panelists on this live and just say
Yeah.
like my stance on Diddy is not gonna change. So I think we've all kind of shared our inputs about the documentary, but just also our narrative of the information that we've learned about him. But
Mm-hmm.
also, if you feel differently, then by all means, that's on you. But I would
Go to
say,
therapy.
Go to therapy. Literally. That's my big thing. Go to therapy. Diddy would not be in this situation if he had went to therapy early on
mm-mm,
and unpacked
mm-mm.
all of his trauma beforehand. The if he had a good therapist, if he paid good money, they would have told him exactly like what the fuck is wrong with him.
He
And
would. I don't think he would have believed it.
maybe he wouldn't have, but at least he would have tried to do the work. I don't think he even tried at all.
No,
So
because I think when people, that's the hardest thing about it. And I'm not gonna like go along into this, but I think the hardest
yeah.
thing is like when people have found success in being exactly who they are, I feel like mentally they may believe that nothing is wrong, because if success is their pinnacle, if being a millionaire, if having money, if having power and control is their pinnacle, then why would I have to work on things from the past? You know what I'm saying? Like I just be thinking like maybe they don't be connecting the dots of how that still shows up to actually get work done, because you also see a lot of celebrities don't prioritize mental health until it's like on the brink of unaliving yourself. Then it's like, oh, or
If
if
it's
it's like
about them,
drugs
yeah.
or something like that, then it's like, oh, we need a mental health advocacy, mental health awareness. But it's those deep rooted childhood traumas that no matter how much money you have, it's gonna show up in your life. So
And I feel
it's
like
just really hard to.
he wouldn't be in this position if he
I
was
mean, I
if even
believe
if it's
that.
about being selfish, he wouldn't be in prison if he would have got the help that he needed. And that's
I
just
agree. I agree. But he also had I feel like he had the resources. He probably had people come to him. He probably had the insight. He talks about God a lot in this documentary about God told him to do nothing. God told him to do nothing. But I'm pretty sure he probably had the insight to help him navigate that.
Jeremy
But
said, Jenny and Sarah, do y'all go to therapy? I'm looking for a therapist.
no, I'm not in therapy anymore. But I do have a master's in social work, and I am very well equipped to understand terminology and
Yeah.
understanding
I'm
of
looking for a therapist. I'm not anti-therapist.
psychodynamics. But
I'm
Yeah.
myself, I would love to continue to go back to
Amanda,
therapy.
are you looking for a therapist? Are you open to a therapist?
Oh no, yeah, I got one. Right now I'm in the
Jeremy,
middle of
that's
like
not hypocrisy.
It's
Because
not
getting
if you Oh
hypocrisy
no
I'm in
no
the
no
middle
no,
of
no,
getting
no,
my
hold on.
meds
at
right now.
all.
Jeremy, it's
When
not
you look,
hypocrisy
when you
because
understand it, and
Jeremy,
you know,
Diddy has resources and money
mm-mm.
more than we can even imagine. He's a billionaire. He
He
could
could have the
buy.
best of the best of
Not
the
only
best
could he hire a
therapists.
therapist, he can find someone to like
He could
to
find, you know what?
out a
He could have
therapist.
someone on his payroll that is only his therapist, where they
Only
don't see
his.
anybody but Diddy.
Yeah.
But the
And he
thing
can
about
find
it is
someone
like,
to find a therapist for him. He doesn't have to look for his own. He can find someone who like knows who
Also,
he is. Like
not
he has
everybody
so many
needs
resources, it
not
doesn't even make
everybody
sense.
needs a therapist because even some therapists will admit to you and be like, "Look, you don't really need that right
that's
now.
what I'm saying. I'm
Just
like,
focus your
I had a therapist. I don't go to therapy anymore because you could graduate therapy. You
yeah."
can like go through therapy and they're like, hey, kind of work through what we needed to work
There you
through.
go.
I'm doing therapy to get
And if
my
you want to go
ADHD meds.
seek
That's
another
it.
therapist, if you feel like there's anything that comes up, you can do that. But you don't have to be actively in therapy for the rest of your life. Like the whole goal, I think, is to meet a therapist, address your issues, work through those issues, move on, and then take those tools and live your life. And if anything comes up or you feel like you need to go back to therapy, then you can go back into therapy. And that's why I think we probably need to have a conversation or a podcast about it, because maybe there's misinformation about what therapy is and how the cycle of therapy works, so that we can actually like let people know that you don't have to have a chronic issue and have to do this for the rest of your life. You can actually move past it and evolve and grow. So maybe you actually gave us an idea, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy was right because I think a lot of people get used to like people using therapy as a weapon. Like they be like, "Oh, nigga, you need to go to therapy," like
Yeah,
trying to
or
get
I'm
you
in
to
therapy, but it's
yeah.
like, okay, that's good.
Like
I
a
love
lot
that for you.
a lot of good abusers use therapeutic language to abuse you.
Yeah,
Like that's what it
you
is.
can still be a narcissist in
Yeah.
therapy. Like,
Now you just know how to blend in and use like healed language. That's what Diddy did. So
yeah.
like
And you don't, and in your comment, Jeremy, like you're not completely healed. We're humans, which means like you're gonna continue to go through life. You're gonna continue to need support. You're gonna continue to need different, and also there's different modalities to therapy. Like what
Yeah.
worked for you probably in your 20s may not work for you in your 30s.
And
Like,
I think we all need therapy throughout our whole lives. But
yeah, you just
the
have to
truth of the
find what
matter
works
is
for you.
people can't afford therapy their whole lives. And I think the difference between us and the regular person versus Diddy is Diddy can actually afford therapy his whole entire life. Like you can't compare Diddy to us, like and say that's
But
him.
also
You
there's
cannot.
therapy, but there's
Until
also
anybody
like
else.
psychological help where you can
Yeah.
see a psychologist that can prescribe you medicine to assist with whatever disorders that you have. Like
Yeah, that's a
what we're talking
psychiatrist,
about
I
is
believe.
more so like talk therapy,
Yeah.
different modalities within that. But I feel like on the level of Diddy, he could have had a talk therapist. He could have had a spiritual advisor,
That's what I'm
but he
saying.
also
And
could have been
so
seeing a psychologist that
it's
could have
really
prescribed
not the
things.
same level, like Like, yeah, like he has the money for resources where
Yeah, he
it
can
could
have anybody.
where it's a playing level field is like the stigma of mental health and therapy. Like we all have that same stigma, like, oh, you don't need to go to therapy, or
Hmm.
mental health is like there's a stigma in the Black community. So that's where we're on the same playing field. But
Also,
when it comes
finding a
to money,
good
he can afford all that shit.
Yeah.
also finding a good black therapist is like one of the things that like you got to understand.
Yes.
Like that
And
is
having
another
someone
dynamic
that
too.
doesn't agree with you. I think a lot of people think like, oh, I'm in therapy, I'm da da da. You got to find someone who challenges you, who makes you want to,
Do
like,
better. Who
yeah, and
doesn't care
do
what you do
differently
for
than
your
the way that
for
you think.
living?
Yeah. So it's not about like, oh, okay, I'm in therapy or I'm doing this and like, oh, I'm just healed. I'm just so much better than everyone, or like, using this as like a societal like
Weapon.
upping. But it's more so, okay, are you doing the work? Are you actually taking what your therapist is telling you to work on and actually putting that into practice? Like there's
Yeah.
just so many levels to it. And that's why I say, like, yes, we may need to talk about it a little bit more so that people really understand that it's not this umbrella of, okay, if I go to therapy, I'm just going to be healed. No, you have to
That's not
unpack
the
a
point.
lot of
Yeah.
things that are really hurtful, which are embarrassing, shameful. Like there's a lot of things you have to work through.
Yeah.
And understanding that different levels or modalities of therapy, talk therapy may work for some people. You might need somatic therapy. You might need medication. I don't know. Like you might need different levels of
And that's
support.
okay. Nothing to be
Yeah,
like
and
down.
that's okay.
Like
But
we all
if
need
you
help.
try, then you can
Yeah.
find what actually works for you.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into this live. Is there anything last, like, final thoughts? We do have an episode that we talked about regarding the Diddy documentary, so you guys should definitely check that out. Oh, Jeremy, Jeremy said bet well explained.
And mind you,
we
this
can
is the
talk
third
about it,
time
Jeremy.
we
If you
said
want to
we're
come
gonna
on the
wrap it up.
episode, I think we could talk about it. I'm
Yeah.
very into the healing aspects of our community.
Any final thoughts before we head out? It's been an almost 3 hour live, so we gotta kind of wrap it up. But we love you guys so much. Emmanuel, any y'all have anything to say?
This would be the third time we've had a wrap up conversation, so I think that they've heard enough from me.
They're like, are y'all done for real though? Like, I need y'all
Right,
to.
right.
But
Christine.
the fact that y'all dropped, look, an episode was dropped today,
Oh yeah.
and alive on top of that, y'all have to go up. Y'all have to support. Y'all have to like. Y'all have to share. There's a lot of energy and time and intention that goes behind even just curating the episodes, but also just, being here and showing up and being present for you guys. So it's like, we appreciate it. And I don't know where Christine went, but I'm going to be Christine, since that's my twin. I'm
Yes.
going to be Christine 2.0 right now. But Ladies of Sosa as a collective, like, we appreciate you guys'
And you're
support.
part of the collective,
And I'm
100%.
part. So yeah, I'm part of the collective, but I ain't
So
the host.
you playing both
I'm
roles.
playing host right now. I'm part
Yeah,
of the
you
collective.
playing
I'm
both roles.
playing
You
host
playing Janet and playing
and
Christine.
playing Christine.
I love
But
that.
we do appreciate you guys' support and appreciate you guys even being on the live for 2+ hours. But this topic, I think, was very, of course, trending, but I think there was just so many elements of it that we wanted to discuss as a group, but then also
Yeah.
have our, supporters like comments and commentary on. So thank you guys for everyone that stuck around and commented on the live. It's very
Yes.
much appreciated. So that's my last take on it.
Thank you. I love that. No, we're more than grateful. I know sometimes we're not live all the time, but we try to do as much as we can. We're so busy. I know that's
Mhm.
like sounds like a cop out, but like we really, really are. We have our own lives going on, and we know y'all have y'all's own lives going on too. So we appreciate you guys being here with us today, even with all the stuff that's going on in the world. Thank you for coming here to listen to our perspectives and sharing your perspectives. We're
Mhm.
not here to be like, oh, you got to agree with us. We love the tension.
Discourse.
We love smoke. Let's
Yeah.
go. So thank you guys so much for being here. Like whether you agree, disagree, or you want to just add feedback or you want to push back. We love that. So thank you. And
Mhm.
Emmanuel, go ahead.
Oh yeah, appreciate y'all. See y'all later.
Yeah,
Emmanuel,
Bigelow
thank
Gum.
you for joining the live.
Thank you for joining the
We thought
live.
you weren't gonna bring your, for a point in time, we thought you weren't going.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next Tuesday. We'll try. We're not gonna say that because Jeremy's gonna be on our ass. Thank you, Jeremy, for holding us accountable. But damn, y'all be on our ass. But we'll let you guys know when we're gonna go live next. But
I
we
mean,
love y'all.
I think they're going to be a lot less mad when we have every bit of content that they're going to be getting because there's a lot of stuff we got to get.
Yeah, don't be getting tired of us.
Yeah.
The whole collective of LOS.
If we post 3 times a day, we don't want to hear like, oh, this is too much
comments. Tariq, we got our guests.
You know, we've heard some people say like, I gotta catch up to y'all's content because y'all post a lot. So some people say we post a lot. Some people like y'all don't post enough.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to find the middle ground. But we love y'all deep.
Yes, love y'all.
Appreciate
y'all.
We'll
see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys. How do I leave?